welcome everyone to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
Also joining us, I'd say a valued member of the podcast team, the magnificent Son X.
Senor X.
That's right. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, not bad, not bad. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is a twice-a-week all-sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel, we implore you, we invite you, we encourage you, we implore that you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. Also, if you enjoy this content, the best way to let us know is by leaving a thumbs up, a little thumbs up button. Apparently, that helps the algorithm. It helps get mine and the Grumpy Old Man's word out to them, as well as Son X's word out to the masses. Well, I guess it's not bringing Son X's word to the masses or anything like that. Just mine and the Grumpy Old Man's. No, I'm just kidding, of course.
X.
Yes.
Oh!
Tonight we've got a lot to talk about. In the world of sports,
Exciting stuff happening in the world of sports.
Yes, I mentioned this is an all sports show. We talk anything and everything sports. We talk NHL, NBA, NFL, college athletics, MLB, world football, so soccer, and much, much more. I mean, today we've got some NFL news coming your way. Tyreek Hill making headlines today with some statements he made recently that I consider a little bit of a shock. We're also going to go ahead and talk about some recent statement. We're going to talk about the #1 overall pick. We're going to talk a little bit about the rumors that are swirling around the Carolina Panthers. We'll also talk about an #1 overall pick by the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, making headlines once again. We'll talk about Mac Jones. Is he on the way out? We've got some baseball news to talk about as well. Who doesn't love talking a little MLB action at this point in time in the season? So we're
has baseball not been super exciting the first week?
I'd say it has.
I am into baseball again. I didn't think it was possible, but I am. I'm into it.
Reinvigorated the sport.
Yes.
It has. And also
clear, ba-boom. Hit him with the paddles.
The defibrillator, Grumpy. The defibrillator, Grump.
Hit him with the old defibrillator.
But also, we're going to go ahead and talk about, too, we've got a little bit of, oh, crap, I just pulled away from it. We've also got on the docket some NHL wildcard race news. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. There is a lot to talk about in today's show. Let's pop up a few comments that we have already rolling in before we start talking some topics. Drew L. said, TJ, just sent you a meme. However, I'd like for you to look at what I sent you about Mark Cuban. It might be tough to get all the information in one scoop. I can explain on a call if need be. Oh, Drew, I'm not going to be able to discern that information before the show or during the show if it's gonna require a phone call. But thanks. I'll maybe look at that here in a second. Andrew L. said Mike Modano jersey, Son X.
Yeah, it is a Modano jersey. I don't know if you can see signed by him.
What else you got in that little area you're sitting there?
Manchester United scarf, and then the legend himself, Tom Brady.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Anything else kicking around?
Yeah, I mean, I got some other stuff. It's a lot of soccer stuff, and then a couple of Jeter pictures.
Okay.
Drew L. said baseball is without a shred of doubt fun again. Part of it is also because of fantasy baseball.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Fantasy baseball is that's like the best thing that happened to baseball.
Fantasy baseball is the best. So fantasy baseball didn't exist until this year for you, Grumpy. Is that what you're saying?
No.
No, it just wasn't enjoyable until this year.
It wasn't. Well, the games were just too long. But now you're kind of into it, and like I said,
I think I know what it is. Grumpy drafted a good team at the beginning because remember, usually whenever he drafts a team, oh, my team's shit. They're awful. I'm not playing. I'm quit. I'm not playing.
I'm gonna.
He might have himself a good team this year. Therefore, it's enjoyable for him.
I do feel my team is good. I kind of deviated from my previous plan, which I mean I win, but still it's razor thin. And this year I kind of deviated. I feel so much better about my team. Now you know what that means. A lot of injuries are probably coming.
There it is. Only if you're lucky, Grumpy. Let's talk a little Tyreek Hill first. I'm not sure if you guys happen to see this. This news came out today. Tyreek Hill is planning on retiring at the age of 31. So once his contract expires with the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill said he is going to retire. That's going to be at the end of 2025. So, right, he's got, 3 years left on that deal? 3 years left on that contract. He'll retire at the end of 2025. It's odd. I'd say it's odd. And this is a statement he said. I'm going to finish out this contract with the Dolphins, and then I'm going to call it quits. I want to go into the business side. I want to do so many things with my life, bro.
I think he might be realizing he's not going to be able to run at the same speed he always has, which gets him open all the time and makes him honestly the player that he is. And he might pull a Calvin Johnson. He might just retire a little bit early.
Yeah, I disagree. I think 3 years is a long time. And what's the business? I know in this tweet it didn't say the business. He wants to get into the gaming business, put together like a gaming league and have a great gaming team. I'm like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like one of these sad little millennials that stuck in their mom's basement playing the little videos. He wants to get some of his buddy playing videos together. You know what's going to happen? In 3 years, he's going to be thinking a little bit differently because the gaming thing that supposedly he's going to revolutionize putting a gaming team together. You know what's going to happen? How much money they make from those gaming things? Like 50
Holy
cents?
shit. Hold on, Grumpy. How many times are you going to jump all over the place? I'm trying to get to what's the point, Grumpy, of this? You don't think he's going to make money?
He's
in this
drafting Kyler Murray #1.
He's drafting Kyler Murray, first pick.
Well, no. He doesn't even have to draft him there, X. I think he's just going to go. He's just going to say, hey, we're going to launch a league together. Kyler Murray's going to have an early retirement too, I guess, by this standpoint, X.
I think it's silly. I just think it's silly because it's 3 years away. To say, you know how much stuff changes in 3 years ago? Wasn't he still beating his child and breaking his arm?
Yeah, well, he did that about 3 years ago. Sure.
Well, there you go. So things change.
Well, here's the thing with Tyreek Hill. I thought it was odd for him to come out and say this. Here's the thing. I'm not hammering this into granite or anything like that, hey, when his contract expires, it's a sure thing that he's going to go ahead and retire. I'm just not so sold on it yet. Maybe he does. He's a guy whose game is predicated on speed. He's made a good amount of money. He does the streaming and video game stuff now already.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things that he probably wants to do more of and spend less time in playing football over time. But I don't know. If a team offers him a huge paycheck, I think that kind of changes his perspective. But, it just depends. Because he's the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL right now, right?
I don't know. He makes a lot of money. But I have a question. Do you think playing your little video games is going to pay as much as playing in the NFL?
Depends.
Hold on.
The answer is no.
Hold on. Do you think playing your little video games is going to give you the same exact exposure to concussions and multiple injuries entering your 30s?
Do you think as soon
No.
as you
The answer,
the NFL,
hold on. The answer to that question is no. Playing video games is not going to put your life at harm's risk.
You might just get some arthritis in your thumbs, but that's about it.
But here's the thing. They said, when are you going to retire? He's like, in 2 years, 2025. See, he's already got CTE. I'm not worried about concussions for him. I mean, all I'm saying is that as soon as you leave the NFL, nobody really cares about you anymore. They don't. So he better get his little posse of video players together now, because I just think it's silly. So much is going to change in 3 years. Would it surprise me if that changes? Not at all.
Okay. Highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, as I mentioned before. The only thing I could see him continue to play the game is if they offer him a huge paycheck. Most people don't need tens of millions of dollars to live a lifestyle. I mean, we'll see what happens with Tyreek Hill, but he's a guy to where he's been a very successful NFL wide receiver. And, you look at what he's done. I don't think you could 100% say he won't return or he won't try to sign something. I just thought it was odd. It's the first time we've seen anything where it's like 3 years from now, I'm going to retire. It's the first time I had heard anything like that before.
What's with the Princess Leia headphones there?
Your mic, your sound system is echoing like a mother effer. So I had to take it off so I could not hear my reverb through your miserable setup, Grump.
Not me. Maybe it's X's setup.
It's definitely not X's.
Grumpy, it's always yours, Grump.
It's the
Never mind.
DSL dial-up you got over there.
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh,
Shut up, X.
Let's look at a few comments here. We got here. What's also great about fantasy baseball is that it looked like I was going to get killed by TJ, and Brian Reynolds gave me the comeback of a century. Yeah, some people get hot and you hit 2 or 3 home runs in a week and it helps you out for certain. He also says playing the videos. It's just internally cringed. I just internally cringed hearing that. When Grumpy says playing videos, just say video games and stop trying to act like a boomer, Grumpy.
Okay.
Yeah, Grumpy, stop acting like a boomer, Grump.
Okay. That's an inside joke between me
I'm
and
not
my
aware of this inside joke. X, are you aware of an
please
inside
stop.
joke?
Playing the videos.
He always called the video.
I always called the videos. It's an inside joke.
Play the videos.
Okay.
Playing the videos.
Drew said here, baseball quote of the week. When my wife doesn't show up to the games, something good happens. Now, did you happen to see that, Grump?
I did not happen to see that. Who said that?
Peter Gibbons, I believe. Let me pull
Peter
that
Gibbons.
through here. He's a rookie. I'm sorry, Garrett Mitchell. Sorry,
Close.
Garrett Mitchell.
Name's
Yeah, I was
close.
going to say very close.
Mitchell?
Now, I don't know. This is
First name
apparently
Jerry? Is it Jerry Mitchell?
this thing apparently, Grumpy, and X is something that's kind of taking I don't know, it's viral at the moment, Grumpy. So we're going to gather your attention. This is apparently viral. I don't get how, I don't understand why it's as popular as it is, but I'll let you guys watch it. Maybe
Because everyone always. I'm going to tell you why people think it's. Well, let's listen to it first, then I'll explain.
Yes, tell me. Hold on, Grumpy. Actually, let's let Grumpy cook. Tell me why that people think this is so popular without you ever having heard this video yet. I do want to hear what your assumption is, Grumpy. What is it?
Well, my first observation is either the interviewer is really, really tiny, or this guy's really, really tall, or maybe a combination of the two. He's like got what, 1.5 feet, 2 feet on her height wise.
Hold on, that's why it's funny, because he's really
Well,
tall,
that is
she's
funny.
really
It's funny.
small.
The visual is funny. And for anyone who's filming fan fights, you notice how this is shot. It's not shot in portrait mode. It's shot in landscape. Just letting you know. Here's why it's funny. Because when everyone makes a comment, they never slam their significant other. That just doesn't happen. And when my wife's not here, good things happen. No one says that. No one does. That's why it's funny.
Normal people say that type of stuff.
No, they
That's
don't.
why I'm just-
No, they don't. Absolutely not. I might say it goofing around, but I don't say it on national television
All right,
or,
let's watch.
or Milwaukee Regional Sports Channel.
All righty, let's watch.
Already got the ice bath, but he said he's not ready for the interview. Garrett, you're still catching your breath. Take me through the at-bat. Adam Ottavino was setting you up with a little bit of everything, but what'd you like about that last pitch you saw?
He sucks.
He left it a little bit over the plate, gave me a chance to hit it. So looking to try to put a bunt down there early and then just try to fight when I got to 2 strikes.
And you showed that bunt early in the at-bat. What were you just trying to get on and get a rally going? Decided a homer would settle it instead?
You know, I was thinking about this, but when my wife doesn't show up to the games, usually something good happens. So I had to, going into that bat, I was like, man, well, she's not here, so might as well do something fun.
Well, last night you had your first career multi-homer game. You said you wanted to wear the Chiefs hat again. How do you describe the offense?
But okay, so that's the end of the little viral clip. My wife's not here, so I figured I might as well do something fun.
Yikes.
I don't know. It didn't sound bad at all. I don't get why it's so
He
popular.
thought he was trying to be funny. He thought he was trying to be funny with the little wife joke, and then he pushed it even a little bit further. But here's the thing. Little shorty announcer girl, she didn't bite. She didn't bite at all. She should have helped him out on that. Sorry.
X, I guess I need help with this one. I'm not quite
I'm still
understanding.
dumbfounded. I'm still dumbfounded the fact that Grumpy thinks that an interview is filmed on a phone.
Grumpy's all over the place.
No,
right
it's
this show.
filmed on a camera.
I'm fully aware of that.
Grumpy's been all over the place so far this show, but
They don't turn the camera this way to get it
No, they do
portrait
not.
mode.
That's right. That's right.
Widescreen.
They just keep it regular.
If you've been watching the show X, you would realize we've been talking about this for a long time. Don't be some some X come lately and now trying to overflip the food cart or whatever.
I'm fully aware. I know of the battle of the landscape mode.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was just trying to be funny. I mean, it was like, huh?
I thought that was a nothing burger. I was like, okay, I guess this is popular ? I don't know. Maybe I just can't get over the fact that the Mets are off to such a miserable start this season.
Maybe Milwaukee's pretty good. They have a
Or
good
maybe
pitching
the Mets
staff.
are pretty bad.
Maybe it's a combination too. Milwaukee's a young team. They have a really good pitching staff. Really good.
Okay.
Just saying.
The Mets have a good one too. Oh wait, they got injuries.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're an old. That's happens when you're an older group out there. Now, I want to pop this one up on screen. Now, this is what was making the rounds, and I'm going to ask you both of your opinions. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about what happened. So, Grumpy, we're going to need Grumpy. I want Grumpy and X's opinion on this. We'll pop this up on screen. Tyler O'Neill is here on second base. I'll let you watch the play, and I just want your initial reaction. I'm not going to tell you what happened or occurred because I want to see if you notice anything from this 14-second clip.
Debuted last year in April. This one is over the glove of Albies. O'Neill coming home, and the tag is applied, and he is out. Debuted last year in April.
So what do you notice about that right there? Is there anything that specifically sticks out?
He's not really.
He's like loafing around third base.
So you think he's loafing a little bit, X?
I mean, unless he hurt himself running.
What about you? What about you, Grumpy? Is there anything you notice about this clip?
You're never supposed to look at where the ball's coming. You're supposed to run hard. But maybe, I don't know. He maybe didn't get a big enough lead off second. I don't know.
I'll let you watch it one more time here.
Okay.
So, X, you think he's loafing a bit?
I don't know. I mean,
wait, it looks like he's missing a shoe.
He's not missing a shoe.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure he's not.
He was running. He's running like he's missing a shoe.
He was running really weird. That's why I didn't know if he pulled something.
He runs like he's not fleet of foot, is how he runs, in my opinion. So what happened?
That's it. That's it.
Coach removed him from the game after that and made a public statement saying, "We're not going to have guys out there who aren't giving it 100%."
I was right. He looked like he was loafing it.
Here's the thing. It didn't really look like to me he was loafing at the first look. He just looked like he's a slow guy.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. He's probably about, by the time that ball even hit the ground, he was about probably 3/4 of the way to third base. You got to make it there. I'm sorry. You're a professional athlete. It's not Vogelback out there running bases.
Vogelback would have had that easy.
He probably would have. I'm being serious.
Now, again, though, you're seeing you're seeing a catcher way up the line again, and the batter the runner has to make sure he avoids the catcher as opposed to steamroll him. He's way up the line on that.
Yeah, I would have run his ass over.
You know what? Bring that back. Run him over. Run one or two. The catcher should be relegated to the box, and if you don't, open season, ladies and gentlemen.
Because it's like, I mean, do you think he slows up there?
Because he doesn't want to tattoo the catcher, and he doesn't want to run inside the line.
It does look like he's trying to get around him.
Yep.
Just railroad his ass.
I thought it actually looked like he's running like with a peg leg. Like one of his legs, he's got Joe Theismann leg after breaking it against the Giants and Lawrence Taylor, where one leg is 2 inches shorter, so he's kind of
he looked like he had a gimp, kind of
like something's wrong with him.
Well, I'll let you watch. Now, he had a response, and I just want to hear your take on the entire situation.
I'm just going to continue to get my work in, get my reads in, make sure I'm getting the right jump off the bat and cutting the corners as good as I can, giving it my best effort every time. I got up through the minor leagues and into the big leagues, playing hard and playing scrappy, and that's who I am. That's my character, and I don't ever want anyone to take that away from me. These conversations definitely could have been had in house and not gotten out on the loose like they have. Should have been handled a little differently, in my opinion. But who's to say?
Yeah, I will say that's bullshit by the coach.
I'm just going to continue to get my work in, get my reads in.
You tell him in private, like, hey, we need you to work harder. Even if let's say he was loafing, you don't go out and just blast a guy like that.
Unless he has a history of doing that, otherwise you say something, hey, you got to score on that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it looked like he's had something wrong with his gait. I thought maybe he's missing a shoe.
Well, that's why I thought he pulled something. The way he's running, it looked like he might have pulled something.
What do you think, Andy Reid?
Yeah, I just don't think he's a very fast guy. You know, like some guys have good top end speed and some guys can hit it like 5th or 6th gear. Tyler O'Neill, just like when he was rounding the base, looks like he's perpetually on 2nd or 3rd gear. He couldn't open up the stride.
I thought you were going to say, hey, he looked like our quarterback in the playoffs.
Oh.
Grumpy just called you Andy Reid.
Oh, shit. God. Okay, gotcha. For Patrick Mahomes. I gotcha. Oh man, but he was gimping around a bit. I just don't think he's got good top end speed. I don't watch enough of those St. Louis Cardinal games to tell you, but
he's not
weird.
slow. He's not a slow player. It looked like something was off in his running stride.
What position does he play? Is he a catcher?
He's an outfielder.
Okay, yeah, you got to be able to move. I'm sorry.
He does. He's got pretty good speed. Like I said, it looked like he was a little off kilter. Thought maybe he lost a shoe, blew a shoe out of something, blew a tire.
I did. Yeah. You're not going to see much criticism from me this early in the season. I mean, it's game 5 or whatever, game 4 when that happened. And you're already like, hey, we're making a statement. Maybe you've got a much better knowledge and understanding of that locker room where you are completely off. You're completely just in the wrong side of things.
They have a lot of guys on St. Louis, young guys coming up. They almost have too many position players for spots. Young guys. So everyone's kind of juggling who to sit which day, who to play. It's difficult. They have the same issue in the infield as well. They got a lot of guys for only a limited amount of spots. I love the Cardinals uniforms. Their jerseys, I love them. I think they're great.
They're a classic. They're definitely a classic. But yeah, I didn't immediately notice when I saw that. I'm like, okay, he's kind of running a little slow. It does look like maybe he pulled or he's a little bit maybe strained something. Who the hell knows?
Can we see that again? Can we see him run one more time?
You want to see him run one more time?
Yeah, because
now that you know what happened.
Maybe
he
a
looks
little
like
slower.
He looks like John Cena running out to the ring.
No, he looked much faster than John Cena. He makes John Cena look like he's walking out there. That's how quick Tyler O'Neill was around the bases. Hold on, here it comes.
John Cena can't run anymore down. If you saw him run in WrestleMania, that was terrible too.
Okay. I didn't watch any WrestleMania.
Last year in April. This one is over the glove of Albies.
Okay, the ball was hit hard.
Coming home.
It looks like something's wrong with his foot.
Was that actually? It's
really a nice throw. Really
tough to hear you when this going on, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's a nice throw. I mean, the ball, it was hit on the button. The guy, it wasn't deep. I mean, he's coming up on a 2-hopper right on there, and he's coming up gunning. I mean, that's a good throw, too.
He just didn't look fast.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not very fast.
I mean, usually guys, they're kind of pumping their arms when they're running full speed.
It looks like
that's true. That's true. Usually, maybe that's what
usually some guys used to run like this. I heard.
Yeah, as about to say, grumpy. But you're right. Most people do. They use their arms for a lot more movement, and he doesn't look like he's using his arm very much.
Maybe it was that little thing that he's got, that little protector thing.
You realize that so he doesn't.
And what's with this
sliding?
What's with this horse shit? Everyone's got to wear these little mittens that they wear.
I'm telling you, the reason why he wears it is so he doesn't break a finger sliding into base.
I don't give a shit. I mean, this isn't. You're not out there making snowmen. Tough it up. Come on. There was one guy wearing 2 mittens. What the heck's with the mittens out there?
In case he gets a ground ball,
They could slide in, Grumpy, without breaking a finger. What X just told you, Grump?
That's the reason why they wear it.
X is stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Until one of your players on your fantasy team's missing games because he snapped the shit out of his finger.
Who's the best player on your team, Grumpy? Who's the best player on your fantasy team?
You're like, damn it, I'm going to buy mittens for the whole team now.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah. He's over there playing. What was he playing in the Hispanic league? Was he playing in the Mexican league?
Hispanic league.
Mexican league.
AAA ball right now.
Playing AAA ball.
Was he really?
I sent you something on it.
Okay.
He hit a home run.
You sending me something at the time the show's supposed to begin?
Oh,
okay.
it's not true. Again, it's not true. You keep saying that. That's not true.
I thought Tatis couldn't play still because of the
minors.
He's coming off the suspension on April 20th.
Okay.
That's like 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
He hit a
You know
home
what, 3
run, and
weeks away?
apparently the guy he hit a home run off of called him a cheater. And
So-
he said, I'm just going to have to deal with that shit. He said.
Cade McClure has been released by the San Francisco Giants. Sources said that Tatis Jr. hit the star-studded hesitation around third base. McClure got very upset, walked to his car, started. Oh no, this has got to be something fake. God, those stupid freaking blue check marks get me now these days.
2-2 is swung on and driven high and deep. That is way gone, way out to left, and Tatis homers to the clubhouses. He got gypped. The 2-2 is swung on.
I mean, he just tattooed the living shit out of
He's
that
good.
ball.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's really good.
He's really good. He's also playing in AAA. Worth mentioning.
But he was good playing the majors, too.
No, he's great. He's great. I'm not saying he's not a good ball player. I'm saying he's great.
Why don't you tell us how shitty he is because he's not on your fantasy team? Go ahead.
Fernando Tatis really sucks. Is that what you're looking for me to say?
You know who's better than him? Jose Reyes in Lastings Millage.
Lastings Millage verifiably is better than that hack. Fernando Tatis tries to model his game after Lastings Millage, okay?
And he wouldn't be playing.
No, he'd be playing.
Maybe that's why he got the suspension. He wanted to model his game after Lastings Millage.
Out
of the league.
huh?
Yeah.
Let's start looking at some of these here, more additional comments here. I can confirm, as a former chronic gamer in my teens, my thumbs are just fine. There it is. Alexander says, I think it's going to be the Dolphins versus the Chiefs on opening night. Yeah. Tyreek Hill mentioned that he was, hey, guys, sorry. I'm going to have to let all those Kings Nation, the Chiefs Nation, know what's up when they play. I can't remember. You were reading the quote earlier. Chiefs Kingdom. I'm sorry. Chiefs Kingdom.
I'm going to have to throw up the deuce. Throw up the two fingers. You're going to be,
Wouldn't you get a penalty for that now, though, right?
Like, I'm going to be your worst enemy.
I consider that taunting, and I think the rest of the rest of them do too. Now, Alexander, Grumpy, I'll let you read that one.
You can tell Son X and TJ are brothers.
Yeah.
Son X, is there a reason why can you not hold your head up straight on its own? Do you have to have your hand propping it up like that?
I don't know. It felt good.
Well, try not to feel so good. Try to look semi-professional.
All right.
Gosh. Okay, let's read that one here too.
Peter Gibbons.
What's the significance of Peter Gibbons?
That's the guy that you just showed the Milwaukee.
Not the wife.
Jeez Louise.
No, it's not Peter Gibbons, though. That's what I made the mistake. It wasn't. That guy's name is not Peter Gibbons.
You called him that or something.
I know. I did it because D-Cut said it, and I was like, oh, maybe this guy's Peter Gibbons. I don't know.
Maybe this guy. No.
Anyway, I thought Peter
hire
Gibbons.
TJ, hire D-Cut. I'm saying it now.
Fuck. Okay, sounds good. My little brownie says, I figured Son X would throw on the Guy Fawkes mask next.
Oh
man. Are you familiar with what that mask looks like? Let me pop that up.
From V for Vengeance.
Yes, V for Vendetta. I thought it was V for Vendetta.
Maybe it was V for Vendetta. It probably was. Now that I think about it, was V for Vendetta.
Yeah, that's V for Vendetta. Yeah. Okay. Yep, I've seen that mask before.
There it is.
Little.
There it is.
Vendetta, vengeance. What's the difference?
Joseph C says here, hey, so about that Lamar Jackson situation, the Ravens general manager said yesterday they would consider drafting a quarterback in the first round.
X, anything to say on that?
Apparently I've heard rumors that he could potentially be going to Houston. Or Houston in some mock drafts. Houston's not even drafting a quarterback. So maybe one of the quarterbacks falls to the Ravens, the top 4.
Houston wants Bryce Young.
Well, let's say Bryce Young goes number 1.
Where he should go, by the way.
Yeah.
Peter Gibbons is from Office Space.
Office Space. That's right.
Damn it. That's what I was saying. Crumpy, that's your job.
I forgot. That's on me.
I'm sorry. Continue, though. I don't want to disrupt the mojo.
No, I was just saying, I've heard stuff that apparently the Houston feels strong with Davis Mills, and they're going to ride it out with him and see how he does. They're not even going to draft a quarterback like they had in the mock drafts. They had, I think, Levis dropping to like 14th or 15th. It was crazy.
Possible. That's possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, everybody was assuming that all these top 4 quarterbacks are going to be going like before the first 10 picks.
And you said that's Richardson you think is dropping to where?
Levis.
Levis dropping to like 14th or 15th.
It's funny because go ahead, Grubby.
The Raiders have interviewed Levis twice. I could see them going after Levis.
Yeah.
I could too.
But maybe not at 7. Maybe they trade down and pick him a little bit later. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter's falling like a rock.
That's worth talking about before we start jumping into more comments. So Jalen Carter is not interviewing with any teams that are picking outside the top 10.
Bold strategy.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I have never seen anything so unbelievably stupid before in my life. Like Jalen Carter is almost self-sabotaging.
Yeah, he absolutely is. That is exactly what he's doing. I would meet with any team that wanted to hire me. It's a job. I meet with anybody who wants to talk.
It's if a team's inviting you, it's still a job interview. Yeah. Coaches are on that staff. They could be in very different positions 3 to 4 years from now. LeVar Arrington was talking about that, sharing his thoughts about Jalen Carter, talking with Brady Quinn and Jason Knox. And another thing that they mentioned too, right? It's worth thinking about. Sometimes teams trade up to get players. You freaking numbskull, you idiot. Sometimes a team says, "Oh wow, we didn't know that he was going to be available. We're selecting 16th, but hey, we think this guy's a top 5 talent, and we like the interview process with him. We thought he went ahead and any issue we had with him just started to subside because he had a great interview." Well, guess what? When you're not interviewing with any of those teams, nobody's going to trade up to try to draft you if they feel that you're the real deal. Just not going to happen.
I have one question. I'm not sure how this works. Is it the top 10 draft picks get paid significantly more than
draft picks? So like it goes where your draft pick, where you're selected, you get paid more. The earlier you're selected, the more you get paid. It's just that simple.
Everything's like a slot. It's almost like they're slotted. So it doesn't matter. But from my perspective, he's had a rough off season. Would we not agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
I've never seen a guy do so many stupid things in a row in such a short time frame.
Wouldn't you welcome the opportunity to explain yourself to your future employer?
Yes, or potential future. But hey, I'm only interested in going in the top 10. I hope nobody selects that.
I hope he goes undrafted.
He's not going undrafted.
He won't go undrafted. But I can see him not being picked in the top 10 with these stupid charades that he's doing and these antics that he's doing.
Yeah. And then you have to, do the same thing with Warren Sapp. He was supposed to go number 1 overall, found out he was smoking marijuana, dropped, I think, to 12 or 13, where
really? Tampa
picked him. Yeah. I remember it was a long time ago. People had different opinions on certain things.
Well, it's the same thing with the kid from Miami, the offensive lineman. Yeah, Tunsil, Laremy Tunsil.
Now, Tunsil.
That was almost. Go ahead, Grumpy.
Tunsil still. When you're putting on a mask to suck in the smoke, that's still, in my opinion, that's still a bad look. That's like really bad.
That's some boomers. That's some boomer stuff right there.
I mean,
how many people walk around with damn
gas masks? Gas mask bongs?
Yeah. How many people?
It's the same. I guess it would be the same thing as ripping it out of a regular bong.
Well, no, the gas mask gives it a different appearance. I'm sorry. Not everybody walks around the streets wearing a damn gas mask.
I know it does. I know it does, Grumpy. But here it is, right? This is reported by Adam Schefter. He said, Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter is visiting the Bears today. It's his second visit with him, already having visited the Eagles. Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus said that he is declining visit request for any team drafting outside the top 10 picks. I'm confident Jalen will go in the top 10. He's a good person, a family man, loves football, and is a generational talent.
He's also a NASCAR and drag racing fan as well. You forgot to put that on.
He can drive the shit out of a truck.
He also likes to show up out of shape. The guy does. It's bad off season. It's like if things can't be worse. I have the issue. I get booked there. And get in trouble with driving drag racing on the streets. I show up out of shape to my pro day, not able to complete drills. And now I'm such an arrogant ass that I'm not even going to interview with anybody drafting outside the top 10. Sorry, dude, you're not the number one guy with all the because people see that as I say, let's say this guy's not everything we would imagined. He already is a pain in the ass to work with, and he hasn't even received money yet. NFL money. It's exactly what it is. Everything that you see with his lifestyle and the way he acts is going to be magnified with that type of NFL money. You worry about giving a guy like that crazy amounts of money because what is he going to do? Is he a guy just going to be like, man, whatever, I made my guaranteed money. I don't care about playing anymore. Happens sometimes, unfortunately.
It absolutely does.
So
guys just not work hard, or like Jamarcus Russell ate himself out of the league.
And the funny thing, I like Jamarcus Russell, though. I really did.
He sucked.
He did suck, but I liked him as a person.
Yeah. He
was a good person. I liked him as a person. I didn't think he was a good quarterback. I liked him as a person. I had no issue. Let's go ahead and talk about Frank saying, yo, let's go Islanders. Yeah, I was about to say, Tampa's exhausted. Yeah, but, we're not going to talk too much Islanders today. They took care of business. I said on yesterday's show I expected them to beat Tampa, and they're doing that. Drew said maybe the Mets are bad. Isn't that every year at this point?
Pretty much. It's a long season. It's 162 games. Don't overreact too much to the first, 5.
I think you can lose like the first 30 games and still make the playoffs or something crazy like that.
You got to be really good the second half.
But
pretty much undefeated, sweeping every team, winning every series.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't. It's a long season. Don't make too much of the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Mets are off to a poor start, but it is very early. Palmieri, he says, you suck. Yeah, we'll try to keep, you better give him props, Grumpy. We're going to try to keep the Islanders stuff to minimum. We'll read some Islanders stuff, but just because we don't want to talk Islanders, we just did that yesterday too much.
Palmieri sucks. There's his prop.
Grumpy doesn't hesitate.
He sucks and blows. He's an F-.
Oh, God almighty. Got a comment here from Joseph C. saying, the Phillies are 1-5 after making the World Series last year. Can't put much into the first few games of the season. Absolutely. I agree. Andrew L. said there's no reason for him not to get a good jump on the ball. There's 2 outs. You immediately run on contact. That's a good point, too.
Yep. It didn't look like he didn't run on contact. It looked like he didn't have much of a lead off second.
It was I don't know what the hell was going on.
I agree, though. You shouldn't be looking at the ball in the outfield, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah.
You're hauling towards home plate as fast as you can.
X, did you ever steamroll catchers coming into home plate?
Multiple times.
I know.
Oh, bullshit stuff.
Absolutely, he did.
I think I hit one catcher.
Man.
Caused a little bit of fluffle. So I remember.
Joseph C. said, have you guys seen pictures of Tyler O'Neill? The dude is like a weightlifter playing baseball. He can't run.
That's what I was going to say. He literally looked like John Cena running. He looks like he's a bodybuilder.
Look at his body. He looks like he's skinny build, but he looked like he has about as much muscle mass as his body can hold. He looks like he's on the juice.
He probably
is. Let me pull up a picture here of Tyler O'Neill.
I just, while you're doing that, I have a subscription to Peacock, so I did watch WrestleMania. And one thing, there was action outside the arena, and it was something embarrassing that I found, and it's a millennial thing, so I'm going to jump all over it. Everyone, like there's guys, they're like ringside, and there's guys right in front of them. Every single person is with their phone. I'm like, dude, they're right there. You don't need a freaking phone. You're right there. Why are you videotaping that shit? You are right there watching it.
Yeah, they need to definitely look into him using some sort of performance-enhancing drugs. Baseball players don't look like that, ladies and gentlemen.
He looks like if the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, crapped out a baby, that's what he'd look like.
He looks like he should have been at WrestleMania.
He should have been.
This is
got his shirt off and everything.
Ripped the shirt off and everything, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he absolutely is on some shit.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he definitely is. And maybe that's why he moves, because, you get so big like that and muscle bound, you don't move so well. Maybe he just doesn't move very well. Maybe, honestly, could this be a little bit of an issue as well where coaches said, hey, dude, We don't want you to be as big and bulky as you are. You're losing your speed. You're doing this. You're doing that. And he came out running like shit. And he said, well, maybe just not trying hard. And it was like, coaches do some stuff like that sometimes, Grump.
Okay, maybe, but you don't say it to the press.
No,
I agree with that. You don't say it to the press.
keep it in house.
You're right. Tyler O'Neill, obviously on the freaking juice.
I mean, not in game 5. You just don't do that. It's just, what are you doing? I don't know where TJ is. That's good news for us, X. I'm just going to tell you, because now I get to hit some comments and we can just, let's see where we go. Let's see. I'm going to jump all over those. We can do pretty much anything we want now. Oh, he's back.
I did it where I hit back on the wrong freaking page. I've done that before a few times. I was like, shit. As soon as it hit, I'm like, no, I'm on the wrong spot. But yeah, very obvious on the juice in some capacity. Don't get a body like that. You don't get a body like that from lifting every once in a while.
All natural, baby.
Oh man. Let's get to some more comments here. Ooh, O'Neill ranked 8th in the NL in sprint speed.
Yeah, he's fast, or he has been in the past. I just think he didn't have much. It's not that he didn't have a jump. He didn't have much of a lead. The shortstop was right behind him, and it's like he didn't have much of a lead. And that ball got out there double quick to the outfield. I mean, the guy came up. It's a good throw too.
Sure.
I mean, it's a perfect throw. I mean, I don't know if that's Acuna Jr. out there or not.
I think he doesn't play center field.
I don't know. I don't know who that was, but I'm just saying the ball got out to him quick, and he got it in like one bounce, bam, right there. I mean, on the money. It's tough, and he doesn't look like he had a little hitch in his giddy up there a little bit.
I think he just forgot to inject before the game. That's why he was running slow.
Or maybe he took a shot in the one butt cheek and it kind of cramped up
So
on him a little bit.
that's Ronald Acuna.
It inflated once, so he was off balance.
Was that Acuna?
Yeah. Do you want to know something
Okay,
funny?
so I guess he plays right.
Look at the caption on that one where he threw him out. He said, Acuna cannon. Yeah, that's what I took away from that is Acuna has a cannon. Please stop.
But he can throw the ball.
I don't know. That wasn't a great throw, my opinion.
What?
It was a one hopper to the plate. You couldn't have placed that ball any better.
I mean,
put it on
what
the
do you want him to do? That's bang right there. I mean, that's perfect throw. Perfect throw. What are you talking about? You know, baseball playing bass, did you?
You're trying to
throw it on the line. TJ wouldn't have even one hopped it. He just would have made it there on the line.
On a line,
right into the stands.
He would have had enough time to freaking moonwalk and tag out Tyler O'Neill. That's how freaking great of a throw I would have made there. Grump.
The catcher would have had to place his hand behind the webbing in the glove because it would blow a hole through the glove, and he would have to stop it with his bare hand.
He's going to
partially blow a hole through his hand.
He would have had to find his mask and throw that back on his face before he went ahead and tried to attempt to catch a freaking ball thrown from me from right field, Grump.
Can I just say it just shows how you know absolutely nothing about baseball when you say that that's not a good throw.
It is very good throw.
Okay. Now I'm going to call you bullshit out here. Hold on. Let's see. He's picking it up
right here. Bam. He's already into his hop. Wham. Okay, he's looking like, oh shit, that's Acuna. Bam. That's perfect.
That's a one hopper. You can't place the ball better than that.
That's perfect.
Okay. That's not a bad throw.
And my thing is, he's deep in right field. It's not like he was, I'm 10 feet off the infield. No, I mean, dude, he's like close to the warning track.
That's a good throw.
Guerrero,
I thought that was kind of
cannon in right field. Absolutely, Vladimir
Guerrero, Dave Parker, Roberto Clemente. Those guys used to make throws like that.
Yep.
I mean, just like bam. They were defensive weapons.
Yep.
I think he looked and he's like, holy shit, I'm in trouble. Because that throw was
that ball's coming in. He was just like, I'm going to
why is he sliding on his ass?
Well, because he sees the guy's got the ball, he can't run him over. Or he gets tossed.
Yeah, but you don't try and, I don't know, slide out wide, swipe your arm through, and touch the corner of the bag.
When I originally watched that, I thought that throw was well off. I'm wrong on this. I'll admit when I'm wrong. That's a great throw. Good throw.
I mean, my thing is, if he comes out a little bit wider,
where the ball is, I don't care unless he's got 16-foot arms. he ain't never reaching the plate. It's a perfect throw. Brilliant play by Acuna Jr. That's what Acuna Cannon. That's what it is. Acuna Canyon.
Yeah, you know what?
We need
to put Vladdy Guerrero back out there. The original Vladdy Guerrero, not Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
Not Fat Boy's son.
Yeah, hold on. You don't like Vladimir Guerrero Jr.?
All I'm saying is, I didn't say he's not a good ball player. I'm just saying you look at Vladdy Guerrero, you look at his son. He should be known as Fat Boy's son.
You mean Fat Son?
The son is Fat Boy.
If he was a wrestler, he'd be Fat Boy's son. Yes. Okay, he's fat. Look at his dad. Was a freaking beanpole, just like all players were in the 80s. Every single one of them before they're juiced up and, eating on the full Twinkie diet, which that's what looks like Vladdy Guerrero's on.
Would you say him and Vogelback are on the same diet?
Same diet.
Vogelback is Vogelback or Vogelbeck? Vogelback.
The silverback.
Vogelback. There we go.
Look at this, though. I will tell you one thing Vladdy does right. Look at him. He's got his little glove on his hand, Grumpy, to make sure he doesn't break any fingers.
It's embarrassing. Look at how fat he is. Look at his face in the top right picture.
He's a quarter infielder. Who gives a shit?
He looks like he's the whole infield.
Okay, Prince Fielder.
Hold on.
Yeah, Prince Fielder. Okay. Cecil Fielder was a big guy.
Look at how tiny Vlad Guerrero Jr. is right here.
He's big as a kid.
He's been a big kid ever since he was born. Look at him.
Because he's eating good. It's how much food he eats.
No, Grumpy. He was big as a child. Look at him. He was just a heavier set kid.
Are you trying to say he's got a glandular problem?
No, I'm just saying he's a bigger bone kid.
Yeah. He's big as a bastard. Look at his ass. Look at that other. His ass is so big that it swells out the little. Look at how big his butt is. It's huge. Stop. He was supposed to be third baseman, but I guess he ate him. How do you eat yourself out of playing third base? That's hard to do.
First base only now?
First base, probably.
Yeah,
DH.
he only plays first base.
DH.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
My thing is, though, Prince Fielder was big.
Yeah, but Cecil Fielder was big also. Vladimir Guerrero was not. He was beanpole thin, particularly early in his career.
What has to do with genetics?
Well, but he wasn't big.
Okay, what if his mom was?
That kid's fat. That kid's just fat. Sorry.
Okay.
No, he was big as a kid too. Look how big he was as a kid.
He didn't look like he was running there, says Joseph C. I want to get some comments here. Drew L said, I get confused with the NFL on their reporting sometimes. For example, because this does apply here, NFL Network will say that Bryce Young is the undisputed first number 1 overall pick. Then other accounts say Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Will Levis. It's, it's
coming down to two guys, Drew. Two guys. Bryce Young, who's the best player in the draft, and number 2 is CJ Stroud.
Okay, so
it's all headlines to get clicks and views. That's what it is.
Clicks and views.
Let's go ahead and pop up some of that, because here's the thing. Frank Reich wants to pick somebody who may be a shock to most, at least a shock to me, and should be a shock to everybody else. Frank Reich, apparently, if he had his quarterback of choice, the first overall pick would be Anthony Richardson.
Okay. Do you have a comment on that, X?
Why would you pick a project number 1 overall?
Okay. It tells me the Carolina Panthers hired the wrong guy as head coach. That's what it tells me. You want to take a guy who's going to take, 2-3 years to maybe develop? Because, yeah, he's an athlete, but you know what he's not right now? A quarterback.
Very true.
That's what you're drafting him as, a quarterback. I'm sorry. What he could be in 2 to 3 years. He could be a piece of shit. He could be Jamarcus Russell. That's what he could be. All right. He runs fast. You know what he can't do? He can't read a defense. And if you can't read a defense, you're in trouble in that league.
And he can't throw a 5-yard out.
He's just not very good. I'm sorry. The best player in the draft is Bryce Young. You're making a mistake not picking. If you don't pick Bryce Young, you're making a huge mistake. And here's mistake number 2.
CJ Stroud is the right pick. You keep saying Bryce Young. You're just
It's Bryce Young. It's not CJ Stroud.
I think you can't go wrong with either of them.
I think Bryce Young reads the field better than any quarterback in the draft. He is Mahomes-like in the way he plays. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes. keep your panties out of a bunch there, Andy Reid. Just keep them out. Calm down. What I'm saying is his ability to decipher and see the field and make those passes lickety split, second to none.
So
if he was 3 inches taller, consensus number 1 pick.
I agree with that. Apparently they had,
but he's not 3 inches taller. He's not though.
But it doesn't really matter. The way the game is, everything's a spread offense now. It's like everything's speed. Everything's speed.
It is.
The linemen aren't 350 pounds anymore. They protect the quarterback like nobody's business. I just think it's not as important as it used to be. That's
so
all.
Apparently, let me just say this real quick. Apparently, there was some kind of test that came out. It was not the Wonderlic, but it was some other test that they used to test, I guess, IQ of quarterbacks. And Bryce Young scored the highest on this test out of all the quarterbacks in the draft. And they said the quarterback from last year's draft who scored the highest, guess who it was?
Who's that, X?
Take a guess.
Who X? Kenny
Brock
Pickett?
Purdy. Brock Purdy. So
Kenny
a lot of mock drafts now are having Bryce Young as going number 1.
Bryce Young should be number 1. He should be.
Did you see? I think Bo Horvat scored another empty netter today.
They adding them up.
Why would Tampa Bay? What score was Tampa down when they
5-1, I believe.
Why would you pull a goalie down 5-1?
Good question. I think it was an empty netter. They scored with like 20 seconds left, so I assume that wasn't just them sucking ass. But maybe.
Well, then the second and third periods, they scored 2 goals in the last 20 seconds of each period.
I want to play this video here. Now, this is talking about Bryce Young. They think Bryce Young. I'll let you watch it here.
Is that both Mel and Todd are going to have to change their mock drafts. Ooh. And that Bryce Young is the pick. And yes, Frank White, connecting Frank White to C.J. Stroud in terms of the prototype of guy that he's worked with in the past. But they all love Bryce Young. I think I'll quote Adam Schefter, who said this reminds him of when the 49ers moved up all the way to 3, and it was intentional to draft Mac Jones. And then changed their mind at the last minute and drafted Trey Lance. And that has not worked out for the 49ers. And I think the Panthers are on Bryce Young at the start and will stick with him when it's time to turn in that card.
And I'll say this too, we always focus on Frank Reich and what he's worked with. First of all, he didn't draft any of those guys. Mm-hmm. Second of all, Scott Fitterer, the general manager, was with Seattle when they drafted Russell Wilson, albeit in the 3rd round, but just over 5'10". He had a sturdier build, but it was a risk at that point, and we saw how it paid off.
Yeah, I think when you look at this whole thing, it really boils down to Frank Reich. Frank Reich's got to feel comfortable with this pick, with this player. And C.J. Stroud, to me, the physical profile, the way he played. We go through the Georgia, we go through the Combine, the Pro Day. I watched the Pro Day, as we all did. You were there. It looked like family atmosphere with C.J. Stroud. Certainly, you never know what to read into these pro days, but that's the way it looked. And what Mort's saying is the decision's been made as Bryce Young. We'll see. We got a long way to go till the end of April, a lot of things to be done, but it's going to be really interesting to see what decision they make, because obviously the Houston Texans are sitting there just waiting to see what happens, because we're going to get QB2.
Mort, final word here.
Long story short,
I don't want to hear more. I don't want to hear Chris Mortensen speak again. That was hard to watch. Him speaking. Well, I mean, he's had health issues. He's older. I remember him when he was healthy and in way better shape than he is now. I don't like.
He could have had a stroke.
I mean, he's had real serious health issues, and I don't like to watch him like that. To me, it's not pleasant.
And I'll correct myself. It was not an empty netter by Bo Horvat. It was a tip-in goal. It was a deflection goal or something like that. I just got the update, so I assume they had a goalie in net for a deflection goal. But he got himself a little deflection. The garbage man goal, Grumpy. You gotta love that.
So nothing changed from 7:00 this evening. Now it's best of 3. For those 3 teams playing them at that players. Isn't it exciting though? The NHL, you got 3 teams playing for that final 2 playoff spots, and in the West, you got 2 teams, Winnipeg and Calgary, battling it out for the final spot. I mean, it's great, super exciting. Last week of the season, can't ask for more.
No, you can't. Let's talk a little bit about that now too. We talk about what's happened.
Well, did you want to follow up on the Bryce Young thing or no? Or was that it?
I was more just like the news that I was shocked. I saw people saying Frank Reich wants to go ahead and get, if he had his choice, Anthony Richardson. That's where I was just kind of like,
so dumb.
kind of shocked by
Why
that.
would you trade all the way up to 1 to get him?
That's my point. You did not need to trade up that high. You could have got him at number 5.
Yep.
I mean, you didn't have to trade up to 1. You wouldn't have to give up all that draft capital that you gave up. I mean, there's no way he's the number 1 pick. No way that he's the consensus.
If that's true, and again, it could just be smoke, but if that's true, the Panthers have, as I say, it's hard to articulate the type of how poorly run and not on the same page the Carolina Panthers are. If you've got, we're not seeing eye to eye, and we're going to trade up and give up so much draft capital for the first overall selection. That's a problem if you guys are not on the same page. I just think it's a problem.
Would you be shocked though from the Panthers?
Yes. Well, actually, no. After that freaking owner blew up however many hundreds of millions of dollars he put into that stadium or that headquarters that just didn't get the rest of the funding needed. No, I guess that wouldn't be a shock.
I'll tell you what, Jerry Richardson was a great owner. He was a great owner, really was. I mean, like I said, I worked for him for a lot of years, and he was a gentleman. I know he had his issues, whatever. I could care less about those. He was a great NFL owner, and he had 2 sons. He was going to hand the team over to probably Mark Richardson, and John was going to be doing other things, but the kids were squabbling. So he's like, screw it. Need the one he get, and I'm selling it. I mean, they wound up costing themselves a lot of money. But for me, you look at Bryce Young, he's able to do things the other guys can't do. He's able to decipher what happens on the field. And that's more important, or just as important, if not more, than having a cannon for an arm. That's what made Brady so good. That's what made Peyton Manning so good. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes so good. They're able to see the field and make plays that other quarterbacks were not capable of doing. This kid has that ability. I think CJ Stroud is great when things are going good. Can he improvise and go off platform? Bryce Young can do it and has done it. CJ Stroud has not proven he can do that. And like I said, Anthony Richardson, if I want somebody to run to the mailbox to get me my mail and get back before, the rain hits the ground, he's the guy I'm picking. But, this is NFL. Sorry.
Oh, I'm telling you, you and I just cannot be further apart on that. That's fine. My Little Brownie says here, Grumpy, Pickleball Slam with John McEnroe, Andre Agassi, and Andy Roddick had impressive ratings. You think it'll go mainstream? It's funny, I actually know a few people who are professional pickleballers. There's actually a professional pickleball circuit. They take that shit serious.
I watched a pickleball tournament. They're like interminably long also.
It's fun to watch.
They're not athletes
over pickleball.
They're not athletes. They're not athletes. They look like people they got out of a bar, most of them. They have men and women on the same team, which is fine. Yeah. But it's like, don't tell me you're getting the best of some type of talent, because
all the best pickleball players. Guess what? They're playing tennis.
Yeah, but they're not tennis players. Okay, they're pickleball players, because guess what? They're not good enough to play tennis. If they were good enough to play tennis, they would be playing tennis. You hear McEnroe, Agassi, Roddick. What do they all have in common? They're all in their 40s, 50s, 60s. That's what they have in common. They are no longer tennis players. So they can play pickleball. Great. I watched it. I was entertained, but it's like, these are fat people out there, particularly the girls. I'm like, they are not in shape. If you're not in shape, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously. Unless it's sumo wrestling, I cannot take you seriously as an athlete that moves. Just can't do it.
What about linemen?
Linemen?
Linemen,
they're a necessary evil, I guess. But they don't let
the best. The linemen are the best athletes on the field.
They don't let the linemen touch the ball.
The offensive linemen do it. The offensive linemen are the best.
Matter of fact,
they're the best athletes on the field.
The center snaps the ball every single play.
Hold on.
Touches the ball more than anybody else. The center, baby. More than any other player on the field.
Matter of fact, if a lineman touches the ball in play, penalty. That's how much they don't want them touching that ball.
You want to know something, I think?
Close for defensive lineman.
Now, TJ, you played football for a lot of years. How many times did you touch the ball? And I don't mean picking it up when it rolled by you.
A lot of times.
Never is the
I
answer.
once recovered the ball and I should have run it in for a touchdown, but my ass is just like, get on it, because if you run it in for the touchdown,
That's like pickleball.
If I run it in for the touchdown, Grumpy,
that's
a lot. That would be a lot of running. I probably would have to take a few plays off if that was the case.
Probably had to take a couple of bathroom breaks.
They would transition TJ to tight end after that.
There it is.
We like you speed out there, son. We like you cuts. We're putting you in a tight end now.
Oh man. Frank says, who gives a crap about anything else? No, hold on. It's the biggest game of the season. No, Frank. No, this game is every next game was the biggest game for the Islanders of the season. Every single game is the biggest Islander game. We're in the same spot we were because all the other teams beat their Pittsburgh beat. I'm telling you one thing. I told Grumpy this before the show. Pittsburgh's making the postseason. Book that now. Pittsburgh's making the postseason.
If the Islanders win out, Pittsburgh does not make postseason.
Islanders aren't winning out.
Okay.
Pittsburgh will win out. Pittsburgh, I could see. I'm worried about Pittsburgh. Beat Minnesota. They've got they've got the Red Wings tomorrow, and then they've got they've got Chicago and Columbus to end the season.
I don't know if you saw as well. Somebody for Tampa went out in that game. Tanner Janot.
Yeah, multiple players went out. Yeah. I like how they tried to say, oh, well, it's almost like Janot, Butchie said, it's almost like Janot tackled or hugged Mayfield as he was going to the ground. No, Mayfield was starting to get off balance and said, where can I fall? I'm not going to fall on this hard ice. Let me go ahead and fall on another person, and crinkled his leg up. I'm not sure Tanner Janot plays the rest of the season. He may have tore something in his knee by the way he fell and got bent up on. We'll see.
Okay. Lower body.
Tampa had injuries. They started the game with 11 forwards. They ended with 9. So they're playing with 3 forward groups out there. And we're going to be like, yeah, Islanders. Yeah.
And Kucherov got dinged up during the game also.
So they had 8 forwards towards the end.
Well, I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha. No worries. Okay, there it is. D-cut. There he is. The Mets are absolutely horrible. Fire Buck Showalter, Grump.
Already
the Firebuck's already out in full force, Grumpy.
No, you can't be like that. Come on,
Firebuck.
Way too early. They're in second place. They're 3 and 4 in the East.
Frank is pumped up right now. He's pumped up. There it is. There, Drew says here, Jalen Carter sounds like he would fit perfectly with the Raiders since they're a team of criminals. Oh, no. The Raiders. Go ahead, Dex. I feel like
I was going to say, I think I don't remember exactly which team is number 1. They went through all the teams, all the NFL teams with the most crimes. Where were they ranked on that? Were they number 1?
No, I thought it was the Chiefs were surprisingly high.
40. They had 40. They were like 4th of the top 5.
I was about to say, I was shocked with how high some of the teams were. I think the Colts were high. The Denver
Bengals
Broncos,
were up there.
Denver Broncos, I believe.
Yep.
And it helps when you just had that recent Ruggs crash as well. So that helped out their statistic for most of the rest of the 2000s. It was surprisingly high for some of these teams. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of insane to see how many people have had run-ins with the law that play in the NFL. It was surprising.
Not surprising to me.
Yep. JP says, hey, guys, the Leafs are just not nasty enough. The Islanders are just not good enough. The Oilers are winning the cups. Stuart Skinner for Prime Minister. Gracious.
He started pretty accurate, and then the wheels fell off at the end.
Speaking of the Islanders, is the NHL app playing a prank on me? You're actually up 4-1. No, they were up 4-1.
Yeah,
it was Brian Elliott, the backup goalie, was in that. Yeah, the backup goalie was in that. They had 70 total penalty minutes in last night's game against the Rangers. They had a lot of fights. They were just a tired team playing the second end of the back-to-back, and we had 3 days rest.
I thought Tampa Bay would roll them, but they rested some guys, and it looked like they didn't even really care. Honestly, That's kind of how it looked against the Rangers last night too in the first period. Looks like they really didn't care, and which is surprising. Maybe because they have their spots cemented in. They're just kind of, we're playing out the string. It doesn't matter. We know we're playing Toronto. We know where we're going to be. I have no idea.
I mean, it's kind of might be the same thing as like in baseball. In baseball before playoffs, they rest a lot of guys. Make
That
sure they
drives
don't
me
get
crazy.
hurt.
That drives me absolutely crazy.
Fantasy, yeah.
Fantasy drives me crazy.
The Islanders look pretty freaking good right now, baby. They're dominating the Lightning. Oh, okay, Frank, I'll say again. The Lightning played the night before. We did not. The Lightning
We had 3 days off.
We had
3 days off.
2 or 3 days off. When's the last time we played? Saturday, right? Or Sunday? We
Sunday.
lost to the Hurricanes on Sunday. So we had off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And they had just played last night and had a ton of fights. They were a tired team. I think that's the easiest way you can put it. They came out and they played like shit from the freaking first face-off drop until the end. Tampa did not look good.
Here's what I want to say about all three teams in the Eastern Conference playoff race. They all came out today and played really, really well.
Yes.
Really well.
Yes.
Florida won 7-2 or 7-1, and Pittsburgh won 4-1 over a Minnesota team that's pretty good. So now you're in the same spot. Now it's 89, 89, and 88 with 3 games to go. You have the Panthers, Washington. Now Carolina's losing tonight. If they lose, they're only 1 point up on the Devils, which could be trouble.
1 game in hand.
But that could be trouble
for the Panthers.
For the Panthers, because they're going to have to play. Then we have, they got Washington. Then Toronto, which could be maybe Toronto starts resting guys. Does Carolina start resting guys? I don't know. Devils won 8-1 tonight. Then we have Philadelphia.
Carolina is going to lose. They're down 2-0 with 4 minutes remaining.
Okay, so they're going to be up 1 point with a game in hand on the Devils. So maybe that last game means nothing. Maybe it means something. If it does, watch out, Panthers. For the Islanders, Philadelphia, Washington, and Montreal. The only game that we should maybe struggle in my opinion, is the Washington game. They play us tough. It's a road game. That could be a tough game for us. Pittsburgh should win out. Will they?
Yes.
No idea.
I think Pittsburgh will win out. They probably should, and they will.
The big game is against Detroit. If they beat Detroit, I think they will win out. They have to beat Detroit. Detroit steamrolled them just a couple of weeks ago, and Detroit is playing really well right now. So that could be a tougher game. But all 3 of those teams came out and did what they had to do. I mean, that's what you want. 3 games left, 3 games to go.
Yes, it is. 3 games left, 3 games to go. We'll know a lot more by Saturday. Simon Holmstrom. Oh my God, Simon Holmstrom scored a goal.
Boy, it's a freak show when that guy scores.
Yikes. Put him in the Calder Trophy. He's going to be the number 1. He's going to be the number 1. He's going to win the Calder, Grumpy. No doubt.
Is that Alexander?
Yes.
And what's he doing? What kind of shirt is that?
That's T-Mobile. T-Mobile there, Grumpy.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know he was advertising for them.
There it is. T-Mobile.
Okay.
Holmstrom still sucks. Freaking Casper scored. There it is. There it is. Palmieri's real good, Grumpy. Doesn't know what he's talking about. Sorry.
He's not really good. He's not really good. Stop.
JP says that's right. Tampa's starting their backup. They're back up. There it is. Look, the win's nice because now I'm more confident in making the postseason. But that's it.
Yeah, I think the Islanders make the postseason.
I do too. Joseph C says here, Boston only needs 2 more wins in the next 4 games, and they break the regular season wins and points record.
They beat Toronto in overtime today. Now, here's the one thing I'm going to say. If they had, the overtime rules that they had now, Boston would not be catching that 76 Montreal team. A tie was a tie back then. I mean, I don't know how many games they lost all season, but it was not many.
There it is. D-Cut says, congratulations to UConn on winning the title.
Yep.
Got a bit dicey, there when the league was cut to 5.
Really?
I thought that was, I didn't really watch much of the game. That's right. I guess that happened Monday, but it was so anticlimactic. I mean, UConn just pummeled the living hell out of San Diego State.
It got close for a little bit, and you're like, oh, can San Diego State make a comeback?
Maybe.
Nope.
Well, I was rooting for San Diego State to come back, but even when they cut it to 5, did you really think they were going to win? I didn't.
They just had they had bad turnovers, and they just missed shots.
Yeah, they can't shoot the 3.
No.
That's the issue. They can't shoot 3 ball.
And Connecticut, UConn was hitting them.
Yep. UConn's good.
UConn got hot at the right time, and they were dominant.
And also, I will say San Diego State did not match up in the paint against them at all.
No.
They had 2 huge kids for UConn, and they just grabbed all the boards.
They had been able to remember they're an older team, San Diego State. They were able to bully a lot of other teams.
Out physical them. You can get away with it.
They couldn't do that with UConn.
Nope.
Frank says, my God, Grumpy Old Man, rethink because Sunex looks like Kyle Palmieri. God, Sunex gets a lot of comparisons. I guess Kyle Palmieri.
He doesn't look like Kyle Palmieri. Come on.
I don't know what Kyle Palmieri looks
I would
like.
love it if Tyler O'Neill was an Islander. He'd expose the dirty secrets that Lou hides.
I agree.
Got here. Andrew L said TJ's lack of baseball knowledge is rearing its head right in front of our eyes. It's a perfect throw. Yeah,
It was a really nice throw.
It was a great throw. It was a great throw. I thought it was off target. It wasn't.
No, dude. I mean, he threw it right there. It went exactly where it needed to be.
I had remembered it incorrectly. I was like, "Damn, he threw that well up the line." It was not a great. It was not a great throw, but it was. It was a great.
Perfect throw. Perfect throw.
Just say it was a great throw. I just said I was wrong. It's a great throw. Tommy Shredder said the Islanders are the huge win here. Huge. TJ, were you thinking about bringing on Grant Hakeem? We'll bring him on in the offseason. Absolutely. And Frank celebrating the Islanders. Joseph C said, speaking of catchers, Francisco Alvarez is coming up because, Omar, not Narvaez. How did I pronounce that?
Narvaez. It's that spelling's wrong, but I don't know. I know Navarro. I think it's Navarro. Navarro.
That's it. Omar Navarro is on the IL with a calf strain. Yep, I saw it's supposed to be about 8 to 9 weeks usually with that type of injury. Excited to see if the young guy plays, unlike Goon, who thinks the Mets season's already over.
Way too early for they're 3-7.
I agree. Too early.
They could run the table.
Living on Goon here, of course.
Yeah, they could run the table. You never know.
Vlad Guerrero got the whole oven mitt on his broken hand. Yeah, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is the Mekhi Becton.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Why would you do that? Why are you doing that to us?
He's big and he just gets bigger and bigger all the time. He's young.
Too bad it's in a meaningless spot.
He's playing the Brock Nelson Anders Lee role.
Yep. Got a comment here. New York Islanders, where top 6 forwards go to die.
True. Even today, I thought they outplayed Tampa so much in the first period and a half that actually first 2 periods. I thought they tremendously outplayed them, except for a brief little stretch. It just showed that we don't have enough talent up top. Every time we score a goal, really, there's some mad scramble, bodies in front, sticks on the ground, guys tumbling all over the place. That's how we score. It's not going to be like that. And this game meant nothing to Tampa. I mean, had to win it. Like I said, kudos to all 3 teams winning tonight. I thought Pittsburgh would probably lose. I thought that there was a possibility that Florida would lose, and I thought the Islanders would definitely lose. And all 3 of them came up big. Good for all 3 teams. I want it going down to the last game. The last game I want it going down to.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you, dude. It's exciting, but it sucks at the same time.
I think it's super exciting. None of the teams have a shot to win anything. So this is like their Stanley Cup is making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's their final.
Oh, yep. God. There it is. Let's continue on here. I put his jersey on, Bo Horvat. Oh, my God. He's adapting into a regular 8. Oh, my God. Okay. Nope. We got. I'm going to move on, Frank. But Horvat, after he scored a point, is not an 80-point-a-year guy. No. Andrew L. said it was not an empty netter. Does he just say information incorrectly or information correct? Holy shit.
Fact check him.
Yep. I saw it afterwards. TJ, you mentioned the Mets' erroneous new score.
Enormous. Not erroneous. Enormous.
Disgust. Their new scoreboard. I was not aware. I did read something about the new scoreboard, but I did not actually see the new scoreboard at Citi Field. Let me pull that up here.
Do they still have the Apple there, right?
I think so.
Is the Apple there? I didn't know if the Apple moved over from Shea.
Honestly, it'd be a shame. I can't remember if it did or not. It would be a shame if it did, though.
And they hit some home runs. That Alonso kid
Yeah.
hit some home runs.
Pete Alonso, yeah, he absolutely does.
Yeah.
I can't tell. These all look photoshopped and edited. It does look huge. Hold on. Is this? I don't know.
I think Kansas City's scoreboard is like ridiculous,
I'll
isn't
tell
it?
you what, I like the Kansas City Royals. I've always liked their
I like their
uniforms.
uniforms.
I like their stadium. I like how you could see the interstate going behind the stadium. Like,
Yep.
man, that is cool.
And you were mentioning the Cardinals. They used to have powder blue uniforms as well.
Yeah, but I like the Royals better. I didn't never.
Yeah.
To me, I like the Cardinals. The white jersey with the red cardinal pops. That just because it's like bright white. You know, there's white and then there's bright white. That jersey pops, man. And I was never a Cardinals fan because they'd always beat the Mets, but I did love the jersey.
The scoreboard thing was fake. It's not a real scoreboard, so that's fake.
It was erroneous. 2-2, Michigan versus. It's probably
Quinnipiac.
That's right. It's
Quinnipiac going into the third.
Quinnipiac, Grump. That's
NCAA Frozen Four.
There it is.
Yep.
Andrew L said, forget about the wild card. Look at the top 3 teams in the Central, all tied at 98 points.
Yeah, but they're all making the playoffs. I mean, yeah, okay. But I mean, to me, the East, 3 teams, 2 teams get in. It's going to be exciting down the stretch. Pittsburgh should get in. But remember, they have less regulation and overtime wins than the Islanders or Florida. So they're going to have to beat that.
You keep saying that, but they don't.
I think they do.
They don't, because every single time they're tied with us, they're ahead of us on points. They're ahead of us every single time they're tied with us on points.
It's an odd number of points. It's been an odd number for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys, or who do you guys like in the Masters?
Probably a golfer.
This guy.
Actually,
is it Brooks? So who the hell is his name?
Brooks Orpik.
Starts with a K. I'm
Konopka.
going to butcher his freaking name. I was about to say, I don't know his name. Konopka. I figured I'd screw up his name and you'd be shitting on me for that one too.
Rory McIlroy. That's what I'm rooting for.
That's who you're pulling for?
Yeah.
I think Rory and Spieth. And Tiger Woods has actually been doing decent.
He sucks. He's finished. Netflix had a special on golfers, and Rory McIlroy came off as actually a genuinely nice person. So I root for guys like that. Everyone else came off kind of jerky, but he came off as legitimately a nice person. So I'm rooting for him.
I think a lot of those I think a lot of people in sports, the amount of good ones far outweigh the amount of bad.
Yeah. I don't mean bad people. I mean kind of like
how they're arrogant,
regular people.
Yeah,
where a lot of them do not come off that way. They are like Tom Brady is, to me, is not like that. Everything is about measured. Where if you actually hear him talking regular, he's cusses like a damn sailor. But if you look at him in an interview, very, and that's no. Peyton Manning looks better than him, if you know what I mean, as a person. He just does.
Yeah, sure. Let's continue on here. I will say, though, to answer your question, Central and the West. The Central. That's that wild card race. I tell you, the Central, and West Coast, you think about it, Colorado looks like they're finding their stride.
It's going to be Colorado's going to win that division.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, Colorado's really picked it up as of late. Watch
they
out.
won it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won the Stanley Cup. They won it all. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's right. They did win the Cup last year.
And my little brownie said, can't believe mock drafts are a thing. Is there money in that? Or is it just another reason for commentators to talk about their hopes and dreams?
It keeps the NFL alive in the off season.
Yep. Everybody talking about it.
Yep. That on top of the fact that, number one, there is a lot of money in that because people just want to say, I gotta keep glued. It's the same reason why people watch the XFL and the UFFL, or whatever the hell it is, whatever, the USFL, all these other pop-up sports leagues, these NFL leagues. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
The NFL is the most popular sport here. So the more football people can get, that's all they care.
Look at this.
Alex M says, spit the facts out, Grumpy, about Bryce Young. Absolutely.
Christ almighty.
Can't go wrong with either or.
It's the truth. He's the best. He's the best. Actually, Bijan Robinson might be the best player. He's a running back, though. But this kid's second if he's not first. Bryce Young is the man, and that's who the Panthers should draft if they want to become relevant again, period.
Oh, God. Hold on a second. Oh, God. Oh, Grumpy, we got 2 memes here from Drew, and I just want to show them because I think they're 2 people you absolutely love. So,
Lamar Jackson?
Close. It is our favorite.
Our buddy again.
It's the kid again. We hooping, Grumpy. It's we hooping. Your favorite.
He's a loser.
I love how you see like the insulation in the attic. It's just great.
That's so the neighbors can't hear him.
I think it's so his family can't hear him too.
Well, no, it goes out the roof. They don't want the neighbors hearing him. They probably triple insulated the floor. They probably locked that door at night so he can't.
They lock him in there.
Yep, so he can't come crawling
Do you
down.
think they just have do you think they have a slot underneath where they just throw a tray of food for him to get and eat?
He's got a little
bucket in the corner.
He's got a little bucket to take a dump in. That's what it is. But they don't want him slithering downstairs in the middle of the night like a damn raccoon eating out of their garbage and stuff.
Oh my God.
The description is Mark Cuban whenever he sees Jalen Brunson's merch inside team storage room.
Like no one's ever seen. We're in the air. We're on the ground. We're always in control.
Look at him, Grumpy. He's tearing apart that
It's so weak. He is. Look at those. Are they even arms? I don't even know what they are. Oh, this kid is so. I swear to you, if that was my son, I would have put him out of his misery at birth.
You're gonna like this one too.
That kid.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey having a legendary one-on-one in practice. Here's Tua. Oh no! Look at that one. Wow, he's got a cannon for an arm.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh wow. That looked like Tua though. That's what makes it so funny.
No, the only thing that would have made it even funnier is if he collapsed on the ground and had a concussion.
Something hits him from behind, and he falls over and he starts dying. Oh, that's a good one. I can't believe Pittsburgh beat Minnesota. Yeah, they're going to lose to the Red Wings tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. We have to hope before the Islanders, obviously, that happens. But
if they lose to the Red Wings tomorrow, particularly in regulation, I think they're done.
Early yet, still a lot can happen.
Do you want to bring up the Cam Newton stuff?
Yes. I do want to talk about Cam Newton. Are you starting to get tired there, X?
No. I was just asking if you were going to bring it up or not. Because sometimes we send you stuff and you mention it during the podcast, but we don't actually talk
I had this prep before you guys even sent me this. Now, This is Cam Newton came out and spoke.
You wonder what he looks like?
What's that silly little get-up?
You wonder what that hat looks like?
What's it look like?
Harry Potter, the 3rd movie, Prisoner of Azkaban, where they have, the little creature thing that's inside the box, and they have to say, like, ridiculous. It looks like the one guy says Severus Snape scares him, so that's who comes out towards him, and he says ridiculous. That is the same hat.
That's
the same exact hat.
Okay, that's his hat, but he has his weave.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was his hair.
Hold on. You thought that was his hat? Yes, that's his hair.
I thought it was feathers coming out of that thing.
What's the difference?
No. Okay, hold on. What I wondered about, more what I was questioning is, I'm like, did he cut a hole in the top of his hat to make sure his weave could cut? See, like that, I'm just like, come on, man. A man of style like that, you better keep that hairdo forever because that's a nice looking hat.
He bought the hat special with the hole cut out the top so he could poke his weave through. So he paid extra for that too. Instead of cutting it himself, he paid a little extra.
I swear, I thought that was feathers. I'm not even kidding you. At first look,
that's his little
You
weave.
need to get your eyes checked. No,
yes, I do.
I feel bad for him. He looks like a fool. He looks like an absolute fool.
I feel bad for him because I remember what was.
He was
dominant. He was dominant 1 year where he was really dominant. And now it's almost like, imagine how like WWE, they do like the cheap pops. It's like, I kind of wonder myself with the shit he says, does he believe everything he says? Or is it just for shock value and to get his name out there?
He looks like he should be part of the Nation of Islam with Louis Farrakhan with that getup.
I don't understand what that means, but okay.
I don't know, dude. I'm just saying it looks. I think he's just stuck in what was it, 2015, 2016, where he won the MVP. He still thinks he's an MVP caliber quarterback. Yeah,
because he's got the Superman lapels on his shirt.
Does he talk?
Yes. It's
oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say, you knew he was all about himself when he had cardboard cutouts in his apartment of himself.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
He's got the Superman lapels on there. He's got he does like that particular like font. That's how he does all of his stuff on like LinkedIn and stuff like that. But let's listen.
Can't read anything.
Yeah, let's listen to him in here.
I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say in regards to my future in the NFL, and I wanted to set the record straight.
There is none.
By saying, this is how I feel. There ain't 32 guys that's better than me, but I also know that I could also be a backup, and I'm willing to be a backup. Players that I will back up. Number one, I'll back up Deshaun Watson. It goes without saying, me and Deshaun Watson's relationship, he was on.
So this is a list. Hold on, Grumpy. We're going to listen to the list, and maybe we could stop kind of when we see outrageous ones. But he goes through a list of players that he would deem worthy that he could back up.
I just have a feeling I know where this is going, but let's just roll with it.
I think you do as well, Grump.
If you say I'm willing to be a backup, but then give a list of players that you're willing to back up, that doesn't sound like a backup, right? I don't know how many backups make demands of or make a list of players that you'd be willing to back up. Like, what the? It's odd.
On my 7-on-7 All-Star team, I've grown to admire the person, the athlete that he is, going through a lot of turmoil. What I believe
Yes, Grump.
He needs the money. He needs the money. When you dress the fool like this, and that's your whole person, you run out of money. I remember his apartment in Charlotte, and I'm like, dude, why are you pissing your money away like this?
LaMelo Ball now lives in that apartment, by the way.
Yikes.
LaMelo Ball makes, I think, significantly more than Cam Newton.
Absolutely. Basketball players make way more than NFL players.
Shocking. But it's because there's so few players on the court that they can afford to pay him a lot more.
Well, just way more. Football players, for what they go through, are the most underpaid of all the major sports.
I agree. But let's
hockey maybe more so. But
they're underpaid, but they don't go through like the NFL guys.
Let's go ahead and listen here to more of this.
That's behind him. My number 2 person will be wherever Lamar Jackson decides to go. Number 3 will be Justin Fields, another C1N product. Number 4 will be Tua Tagovailoa. Number 5 will be Malik Willis, another C1N.
What? Okay, they all have something in common. Keep rolling.
No, hold on. A C1N. Okay, Grumpy, you're wrong. So whatever you think you're going to do, just stop. It's C1N. He noticed
Cam Newton. They came from Cam Newton's camp or something.
Oh God. Okay, so
I'm assuming.
Okay, that's what it is. C1N.
Cam Newton number 1 because he wore number 1. So
he also does that. You'll see Sam Howell's on the list. A few other guys are on the list, and he said it also a C1N product. I'm like, what the hell was a C1N?
They definitely went to his Cam Newton camp probably when they were younger.
Okay.
Or getting to college. When they were in high school.
Gotcha. Let's continue listening.
All-star representative. And I would say there's 3 rookie quarterbacks that I would love or enjoy to groom. Any of these rookie quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. Any one of those guys, I would be happy to back those guys up. Who we got? Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 8 would be Aaron Rodgers. Number 9 would be Josh Allen. And number 10 will be Sam Howell, another C1N.
So we've got to talk about that.
Where's Patrick Mahomes on this lineup?
The guys he's willing to back up. 3 rookie quarterbacks that would be a quarterback competition.
They're all quarterback. A lot of them are quarterback competition. That's exactly why.
Sam Howell, who's a guy. Sam Howell is a guy who probably won't even win the spot. Tua Tagovailoa is going to be at least guaranteed to miss 6 or 7 games a year with injury. Look at this fucking list.
Malik Willis might not even be the starter.
Malik Willis will not be the starter. Malik Willis can't. That's my point. Everybody that he picked can't play or doesn't have a team. Deshaun Watson, how did he look with Cleveland at the end?
Not good.
Not good. Lamar
At
Jackson,
all.
a man without a team, it seems like. Justin Fields still can't throw the ball, can run though. Tua, human walking injury. Malik Willis, enough said. 3 rookies, they're not playing. Jalen Hurts, I don't know why he's on the list.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he's never started.
I think he's happy to be
Rodgers,
back up
no.
every once in a while.
Aaron Rodgers,
no.
I just think he wants to be up in New York. Josh Allen, surprised there, honestly. Maybe thought he can get hurt because of the way he plays. Sam Howell, is he even a quarterback? I don't know.
They have better fashion shows in New York. That's why he wants to be up there in New York.
That's right.
There we go. But yeah, it was funny. All the quarterbacks he named were all people where he could potentially be a starter or battle out for a starting spot. I just found that funny. That I didn't know if you were going to hit on the same thing, but
yes.
Yeah, you did.
I saw that immediately with all the names. I'm like, come on.
He can't throw the ball anymore. That's why he's never gotten another shot. He can't throw the ball accurately. He was never an accurate passer ever anyway. He was a better football player than quarterback.
Hold on. Did you not see that passing touchdown that he had the last years with the Panthers?
What's his career?
5-yard touchdown. Bombing it out. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
What's his career completion percentage?
I don't know. Not good.
Borderline 60%.
Yeah,
that's not good enough in today's NFL.
Well, not that it's a pass-heavy league. No,
he can't throw the ball anymore. Period. He needs
his career completion percentage is a 59.9%.
That's freaking terrible. He should want to play with Anthony Richardson. They both have about the same completion percentage. Actually, he's a marked improvement over Anthony Richardson.
Put them both out there on the field. Richardson can throw the long ball, and he can throw the short ball.
He can't throw the short ball either. Man, his last year with New England, he was throwing those screen passes in the dirt, just like a javelin. Terrible. He's finished. I never liked him as a quarterback. Good football player. Absolutely not a good quarterback. Stop. Remember the fumble? That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Nice way to sell out for your team in a Super Bowl, no less.
Yep. Yes, but I got a whole bunch of guys that would be more quarterback battles.
Yikes.
Cam, you think you're slick? We know what you're doing, Cam.
Everybody saw it.
Everybody sees what you're doing, Cam. Everybody sees it.
Why wouldn't he have picked Baker Mayfield in Tampa?
Oh, he probably was. He just didn't get to that portion on the list.
He forgot. Anybody who looks like they've got a questionable quarterback spot. You know what? Now that you mention it, Baker and I are home dogs.
Yeah,
I'm good. He's a C1M product too. Or we talked to him about being a C1M product. I couldn't believe
that's what I think it is. I think we need Cam Newton number 1 is what it is. It's his little camp that he had.
If you're a team, are you going to take a backup who wears a silly little outfit is nothing but a distraction?
Yeah.
Smoking cigars.
Well, he owns a cigar shop. That's
invented his own alphabet to put out his stuff. No, it's too much trouble.
You didn't invent that. But here's the thing. It's the same thing that happens with all quarterbacks that are distractions, i.e. Tim Tebow, i.e. Colin Kaepernick, i.e. now Cam Newton. Any backup who is a distraction will not get another look because teams do not want to have to deal with answering questions about backup quarterbacks and handling shit about backup quarterbacks. They just don't want that. Simple.
Your job is to collect a paycheck and sit there in case the starter gets hurt.
Okay. Here's the biggest problem. All those guys you mentioned couldn't play anymore. They couldn't play.
That's my point.
Yeah. If you can't play,
they're distractions in their okay, all backup quarterbacks can't play. When you're picking of the shitty players, you want the shitty player that's not going to cause an issue and not going to cause a whole bunch of press nonsense. So you don't go ahead and have him.
True.
Tebow was a guy who caused a lot of press.
He was not a problem. He wasn't in the league very long either.
The press issue. He was a big press people. People loved asking him. They always, Tim Tebow. They don't want to have to answer questions about the backup quarterback. Same thing with Colin Kaepernick. Same thing with Cam Newton. Teams do not want to have to answer questions about backup quarterbacks. They just wanted to be seen, not heard.
How many years did Tim Tebow even play in the league?
4 or 5.
Yeah. He was a freaking starter. He was in Denver for 3 years, and I think then he bounced around 1 year with the Jets, and he was done.
The Eagles too.
Okay.
Yep, he was with the Eagles, and then he came back as tight end for the Jags.
He
tried.
His jersey sold out, which I thought was funny.
Well, that's my point. He's a guy who, and like the Mets, he's still with the Mets farm system. He still does stuff in baseball.
I don't think he still plays. I don't
Yes.
think he's suited up for a game, TJ.
He was this year at spring training. I just know because I had a pal who's like, oh yeah, we wanted to get Tim Tebow's autograph or something like that. They told me. I was like, okay.
Very nice guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice
sure.
guy.
Sure.
Extremely nice.
Sure. Absolutely. And nice bounce back win, says James F. Nice bounce back win is right. Here goes wrong. TJ being wrong again about Tampa. Guy pulled Mayfield down in overtime.
Oh,
It's obvious.
No.
F you, Drew, about my Raiders. Worry about your own team. Oh,
Your
God.
CVO.
Must be a Jets fan.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the Raiders, don't forget the Damon Arnett gun video too. What the hell happened with that?
My gosh. Why did none of these players ever learn?
Damon Arnett.
Here's the thing. I haven't seen the video. I don't know about it, but fellas,
it's not the learning fact. It's the fact that you have to. These guys are given. You can play football. You're given everything from high school on. They think they're untouchable.
Who's giving them guns? Is there any reason
when I'm buying them?
Well, that's my point. It's like, fellas,
it's because they think they're untouchable. They think the rules don't apply to them. Oh, I don't have to study for a test. I'm just given the answers. Oh, this doesn't apply to me. I'm a football player. It's the exact same thing.
Again, it's like, why do you need a gun? I don't understand why he would need a gun. I don't know what happened in the video. So maybe I'm speaking on my ass, which I usually do, but still, anytime that there's trouble and there's guns about, why do you need a gun? You probably don't.
Yeah. We're just gonna pop this up here. Moving along here. Got another comment, Grumpy. If you read that next comment for us, please. Here, by
DJ, throw up a Gibbons pick next to next to Son X, separated at birth.
Looky there. Little Peter Gibbons.
Actually,
that slouch over a little bit there, Rex. Kind of go like.
When you go into the office, do you look like that? Because it looks like you do look like that a little bit.
If you had to wear a tie
on, dip your little head to the side there. Just look defeated. Straight lipped. Yeah, that could be you. Absolutely could. Yeah.
That's how I feel at work.
Rock's got 72 points. Take it deep. Frank said, so what, TJ? They dominated a top 3 team. Or they are a top 3 team. We dominate that. I'm not going to waste any more time. Frank! They tired. They just played the night before and they beat the hell out of the other team. If we lost, I'd be saying the same thing. We just played the night before and we played a fresh legs team.
We had 3 games. We had 3 days off, which is the best thing for the old team.
Sure.
Time off. They deserve to win today.
Vasilevsky sucks last night. He gave up 3 goals that were super soft. No, he never gives up any soft goals per Phil Sachs.
He did. True.
Jesus H. Here, Montreal worries me. Got Grumpy.
The Montreal game worries you. You can't. If you lose to Montreal, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Let me just put it to you that way.
I agree. James says here, Butch said that Brock Nelson never scored against Brian Elliott. That's good to know. Quinnipiac is gone up. Hopefully, Kucherov gets flattened this postseason by some giant defenseman, that dirty bastard. And Andrew L said it was spelled correctly. It's pronounced Narvezi.
I thought they picked up Navarro. It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
he's not the answer. The Alvarez kid is the answer long term. I'm glad we get to see him sooner rather than later.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Maybe Vlad Guerrero Jr. eats the sunflower seeds instead of spitting them out like normal people do. Is there anybody else who does that? Eats the shells, TJ?
I don't eat the shells.
You do eat the shells.
No, I do not.
You swallow them like pills. You don't even chew them.
Hold on. I can't tell if you're both fucking with me right now.
That's right, X. Tell him again, X.
What are you talking about?
He chews them up to like a paste. Then he spits them into a napkin. But like all the shells are all chewed up and mixed up with the peanuts. It's gross.
Yeah, he never comprehended that you have to separate them.
Never.
Guys, is it me or does Phil Kessel look like he's put on some pounds? He's always been a big guy.
Yeah. It's all those Diet Cokes, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
He drinks a lot of Diet Coke or something.
I think
he refused to drink water. I'm pretty sure, right? Or am I thinking somebody else? I swear Phil Kessel would only drink Diet Coke, and he wanted Diet Coke like on the bench, as opposed to water.
I can't.
If I'm thinking it's the same guy, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Look up Phil Kessel Diet Coke.
Phil Kessel Diet Coke. Look it up,
Hold
TJ. Son X has given you an order. Look it up.
I guess I don't really have much of a choice at this point.
Chop chop.
Okay, Phil Kessel would rather quit hockey than give up soda.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Oh my God!
I told you.
Hold on.
I'm shocked you're just hearing about this now. That's old news.
This is talked about in 2022. Let's pull this up here. Holy crap! Let me pull this up here.
Phil was like ready to quit playing hockey when he found out Randy was getting hired because Phil only drinks Coke. He doesn't drink water.
Not even Diet Coke.
Randy doesn't let Coke in the locker room, and he's like, "I'll fucking quit. I swear to God." I'm like, "Dude, you just signed a $56 million deal or whatever," and he's just like, "Don't care. I'll fucking quit. I don't need this shit."
Okay. Well, Diet Coke has got no sugar in it. He should be extra skinny. I think it's all the hamburgers that's
okay.
Me too.
Coke. He didn't say Diet Coke.
I thought it was Diet Coke. I thought it was Diet Coke. I was wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Coke. Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in Coca-Cola. That's for certain.
High octane.
His jump when he's out there on the ice.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I wonder if he actually has it in the Gatorade bottle. They just load it up. They just go to the little snack shack and just grab him a cold one.
Got a comment here from Joel said, I mean, Phil Kessel's favorite food are glizzies, hot dogs. So it doesn't surprise me that he's putting on weight. He looks like he's someone who would be in Caddyshack. Oh
yeah.
My God. Yes, the
glizzies.
apple is
okay. Just call them hot dogs. Anyone who calls them glizzies is banned. Drew.
Hold on a second. Andriel said TJ's wrong once again. There is a new massive score. I'm telling you, I just searched it. It was fake. All the images were fake.
Fake.
Send me the picture of the new one. That's real.
TJ is taking Andrew's last name.
Why is that?
An L.
God almighty. Masters was great. Scheffler to repeat.
It's the first round. So much happens in the next two rounds before you go into the finals.
Andrew L says, my new role on this show is to fact check all of TJ's mishaps.
And for that, we thank you.
You're gonna be losing your role soon enough because I'm gonna be flawless here upcoming, Andrew. Joseph C said that could be the full-time job, Andrew, with no pay and no benefits. Oh God.
Oh man, you're gonna be busy too.
I think the pay would be great. Got a lot of lifting to do, says Andrew L. Jesus Christ. Bryce Young is gonna get killed in the NFL, Grumpy.
I disagree.
Drew says if Bijan Robinson gets to the Patriots, his career is going to be over. He's going to go to the Patriots as a running back. Might as well be his funeral. It's the same with the quarterbacks with the Bears.
That's not true, Drew. It's not true. Look at Ramondre Stevenson did last year. I mean, here's the thing: they don't sign guys to second contracts.
No,
that they don't do. But he'll hit the lion's share. I mean, I think Ramondre's contract is up maybe after next year. So they got another guy to fill it. Here's the thing: I don't see them drafting Bijan either.
Ramondre Stevenson was the same draft as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and all them.
Okay, so this is like I don't know, whatever. So we've got a couple of years left.
They're
not drafting Bijan Robinson. They're not drafting him.
James, yeah, we talked about that at the top of the show there. Tyreek Hill saying he's going to retire after this. Cam Newton insists that there aren't 32 guys better than me. Yet he's willing to be a backup. Plus, the Florida Wicks look dumb. Same as Robbie, a.k.a. Chosen Anderson.
Again, these guys. Oh, right. You're right. Cam Newton's right. There aren't 32 guys better than him. There's probably about 150, 200 guys better than him at this stage. He can't play anymore. Sorry. Go invent some new holographic ABC system, whatever the hell you do. Smoke your cigars, play with your weave, Put on your silly little costumes. I'm done with you. Done with you.
You know what he's going
I
to do?
hated him when he was in Charlotte. Hated him.
He's going to join Tyreek Hill in his video game group.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm down, baby. Tyreek.
Irrelevant former NFL players.
Okay, let's
for 100, Alex.
Cam Newton. If you can't beat out Justin Fields, you shouldn't. Oh, you should dawn, or reality should dawn on you. Quinnipiac up 4-2.
That one's over.
1-5-2.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, great. I didn't see that update. Let's see here. Bulldog played in a pinch, played well. Andrew L said here can confirm Tim Tebow was not at Mets spring.
Whoa!
Look who's wrong
again. TJ batting 1,000, been wrong every time.
There we go. I was about to say, I think he only does commentary now. He is no longer with the farm. He's no longer affiliated with the Mets.
Tell him, X.
Maybe he comes out and does like an appearance, but he does not play for the team.
You heard him, TJ. Sun X. I'm glad Sun X is on the show because I wouldn't know. I just would have taken it for granted. TJ knew what he's talking about. That was a mistake.
Well, no, it's just Andrew L guy. He keeps. I swear to God, he told me that he was happy for Tim Tebow. He wanted to get Tim Tebow's autograph. But I don't know.
D-Cut says, if I was a GM, Jalen Carter would be off my draft board. He is off the draft board of quite a few teams.
Mm-hmm.
Kid will be dead, in prison, or 500 pounds and out of the league in 4 years. Could be a combination of many of those.
Yep.
He's lucky not to be. He's lucky
right.
not to be in jail now. Honestly,
I'll let you read that one too.
Of course, Sun X said it right, and TJ says Narvizi.
Yeah, Narvizi. Oh, good gracious. Let's look here. Okay. Flyers chew you up and spit out coaches. Yeah.
Pascal Vigneault. How long does Torts last?
Early next year.
I think he gets another year though. Well, or he'll go into the season as a coach. Don't you know he wants to beat the Islanders on Saturday? Don't you know it?
Oof. I wonder if they get up for it. Drew says here, Grumpy, you wouldn't ban your mod on one of your podcasts now, wouldn't you?
No.
Who would take charge? It's not like Tony Cheese is visible as he used to be.
Nah, Drew, we wouldn't get rid of you. I'm just kidding.
Make
but no more glizzies. I hate glizzies. It sounds stupid. They're called hot dogs for a reason. Don't try to reinvent the freaking hot dog. All right, Drew.
I do have a few things I also had queued up I wanted to talk about. Mac Jones apparently being shopped around.
Yeah.
Apparently the room is split between Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. Man, oh man, had the Patriots, who were once very mighty, have fallen. My God.
guess Brady 2.0 didn't pan out, did he?
What does it tell you about the New England Patriots? Everyone was saying Belichick and Brady, Belichick and Brady. No. Again, players win games, coaches lose them. That's what happens. Bill Belichick has a losing record as a head coach without Tom Brady, period. Brady was the Patriot way. Was it the Patriot way or was it the Brady way? It was the Brady way. I'm just telling you what it was.
I think it's a combination of both.
You know what? It's not. It never was.
Okay.
Brady. It was Brady. Always Brady. He went to the Succaneers and made them a Super Bowl champion in 1 year. The Succaneers. You watch how bad they're going to be this year coming.
No, I don't think they're going to be good this year. I really don't. I was not arguing.
The great one is no longer there.
I was just saying the Patriots defense was good in the past, especially during some of those Super Bowl runs. That's all I'm going to say. Do I agree that Tom Brady was definitely probably the biggest contributing factor to those wins? Yes, but their defense was also very good as well, which was because of Bill Belichick.
You realize the games that in the Super Bowl that they lost, that Brady got them the lead in the fourth quarter, and the defense spit the bit.
Well, the defense did win them the Seattle game.
Sure, at Malcolm Butler.
That was after they let him get down there with that damn ridiculous pass catch to Javon.
The defense did win them that game.
Well, no, Brady being 10 points down in the fourth quarter against a truly dominant defense. That's not even a point if he doesn't come back and take that lead. He did that himself, and he took a beating that game. Really did. I want to touch on Mac Jones real quick.
Okay.
The fact that the Patriots haven't come out and denied this,
That's trouble.
I mean, this is true.
that's a problem.
It's not like this news just came out today either.
No.
As people who don't know, last year Bill Belichick put Matt Patricia, a former defensive coordinator for the Patriots and head coach of the Lions, and Joe Judge, who was a special teams coordinator for the Patriots and former head coach of the Giants, put them in charge of the offense last year. They'd never done anything on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone knew that was going to be a problem going into the season. Mac Jones called them out on it. He called to Alabama and Nick Saban and says, what can we do to make this team better? Belichick was pissed through the roof that he went outside the family. He played. You didn't know that? I sent you an article on it, TJ.
Mafia, known as the New England Patriots. He went against the family.
He went against the family. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. He had tantrums on the sidelines numerous times saying, what the F are we doing? Which was caught on national TV. In the Chicago Bears game, Mac Jones played. Belichick pulls him out to play Bailey Zappi, then puts him back in and pulls him out. The fans are booing him relentlessly. How do you come back from that? Bailey Zappi is like, he's a back. He's like the Varlamov of quarterbacks. He's a backup. Now, Belichick says this year it's going to be a quarterback competition between Jones and Zappi.
Good luck.
Jones is gone.
I think that entire place is in trouble. I think all of New England's in big time trouble.
When does it come down to Belichick losing his job? First off, his kid should not be coaching that team.
Yes, he should have been canned yesterday. He's not the right answer anymore.
Yeah.
He's just cementing himself in the current spot he's in. He doesn't want to go ahead and don't get me started on that. He doesn't deserve what he did. It was great, Hall of Fame worthy. Every single coach and every single player has an expiration date. He's hit his.
He is on, I think, 20-some victories away from, or maybe, I think 20-something victories away from breaking Don Shula's all-time record.
Wow.
I'm not sure he gets there.
I think that he wants to stay there for that. I think it's more important to him and to Robert Kraft that he gets it in New England.
Yep.
But how many losing seasons and not making the playoffs, and you will go through. The first year, Brady's not there. The Cam Newton year, they were a disaster, missed the playoffs. Second year, Mac Jones comes in. They're 10-7. They get rolled by Buffalo in first-round playoffs. Last year, again, losing record, don't make the playoffs. Do you want to know how many losing records they had when Tom Brady was there?
How many?
Zero.
Oh,
Zero.
Okay. Really? No way. Never would have guessed that.
I mean, now you have 2 of 3, and this year their schedule is tough, really tough.
Well, with the Jets, yeah.
The Jets are no pushover.
The Bills.
Miami. Tua Tagovailoa has never lost to New England. Even all the games he missed, he's able to play against New England every single time. They play Mahomes. They play Prescott and the Cowboys. They play Justin Herbert. They play the Raiders with Jimmy Garoppolo. They play, I don't have the schedule. Their schedule is loaded. I think there's only 3 teams where you're saying, man, that's a Baltimore they play. That's a team that they don't have a quarterback issue. There's like 3 teams. Everyone else has studs at quarterback. They play the Eagles. That's going to be a problem. They play the Giants and Daniel Jones. I mean, it's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much I don't want to talk too much Mac Jones and Patriots because I want to get to a few more topics here. Got here a comment from Frank saying, F Torella, we're winning Saturday. I think we do. I think we win Saturday too. James F said, Son X, have you had a Seattle dog?
Seattle dog? No, what's this? I'm guessing it's a hot dog, but
it's got some
type of the Fruit Loops on it?
Yes.
The Fruit Loops, the mac and cheese,
I have
onions.
not. I probably wouldn't go with the onions, but I mean, I would try with the mac and cheese and the Fruit Loops. I'm not an onions fan. But
I want you guys now. Jeff tagged me in it. He said Grumpy would like this.
In town for a 4-game set. Stetson Bennett throwing out the
Woo, looky there, Grumpy. Do you like that Stetson Bennett throwing out the first
No,
pitch?
he's got to get much more extension on that
His
leg.
whole arm?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna let you know one thing. I think he was just trying not to fall. I mean, he's just trying to throw it in there. I don't think he was trying to fall down or anything.
He's getting ready for the draft, Grumpy.
He needs to get that. He needs to get that lead leg out there a little bit more, right? X
Bigger stride,
much
bigger
bigger
stride.
stride. And his thing, we didn't see if he put it over the plate or not.
I'm sure he did. D-Cut says here, what do you think about the NBA implementing a mid-season tournament starting next year? Kind of amateurish to me. Hold on. They've got a mid-season tournament, the NBA?
I don't even know. It's a clown show. You know how you know it's a really bad league? The New York Knicks are in it.
Oh, shit. Drew L. Grumpy.
I got into a debate about how I said Belichick made Brady. Guess who disagreed with me? The Philly fan, of course. Why? Because Philly people are dumb. Exactly. They're stupid.
You said Belichick. You meant Brady made Belichick.
Yeah, well, Brady did make Belichick.
Well, that's what he was saying. You got into an argument about how I said Brady made Belichick. I never mind.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Let's continue. We're looking at Miley Brownie says, odds of seeing Bailey in the lineup. Should the Islanders make it, or he's done for the season?
I think he will let him play one game in the postseason. He'll give him a shot in the postseason. I feel I feel the Islanders are making the playoffs. So I think that he'll at least get one game to see if he can recapture the magic. He won't be able to, and that'll be the end.
Got a comment here from Milo Brownie. So when does he get the standing ovation for being here so long?
Never.
One of the scary thing, Josh Bailey has played the second most games out of anybody in that 2008 draft class. More than Steven Stamkos, the second most amount of games in that entire 2008 draft class.
Stamkos due to injury. Remember when he had that gruesome leg break and missed the whole season?
Yeah, he's had injuries. Is the only thing that stops Stamkos.
That won't be the case at the end of the day, though.
Here you go, Grumpy. I'll let you read this. D-Cut.
Grump, is TJ more like Steve Belichick or Fredo Lamoriello?
Both.
Fuck. If I'm that, what is X?
Michael Corleone.
Actually, PJ is better than both of them because he went out and did his stuff on his own. He didn't need his dad to get him a job.
I brought Grumpy here. I brought Grumpy to the show.
X
created Grump.
X, on the other hand, owes a lot to TJ.
That's right.
I do.
An offer that you'll never be able to repay.
If you remember, TJ owes a lot to me because I helped him at the beginning.
That's right. That's right. You did. That's right.
I don't think so.
I created TJ. I molded him.
Drew L
He
said,
toughened him up. That's for certain. Learn him how to take verbal abuse.
That's right.
Stetson Bennett threw a dot over the backstop, and it's probably what he did. Yeah, I think so too. The Seattle dog is just a bagel hot dog with a bagel hot dog roll with cream cheese, onions, and bacon.
I'm not a fan of onions. I've had like
cream cheese. No,
yeah, I don't know.
You're saying,
Bacon,
that sounds good. I'm gonna throw up just thinking about that. Ugh.
Yeah, I'll probably not.
It's okay, Grumpy. It's too stupid for you to comprehend what you said. Oh man, Holmstrom from the Conn Smythe, George Foreman, a big George Foreman movie's coming out.
Boxing movies don't. That's going to be a bad movie. It's going to be like the Roberto Duran movie. It's
With
going to be like,
with what's his face, the guy from Top Gun. He was in that.
It's just I saw the comment trailer. Yeah, I've seen the comment attractions. I'm like, it's going to not be good. It's going to be bad. You can just tell. The boxing scenes just look bad.
Yeah. I remember good boxing movies though. Cinderella Man was really good.
Cinderella Man. Boxing, it really, if it's done right, really good on the big screen. Raging Bull, all-time great movie.
I'll let you read that one, Grumpy. Patrick
Bailey is the GOAT. He's going to score the cup-winning goal.
I think so too. I think you're right, Patrick. He'll probably score 5 of them.
Uh-oh.
Got here. This is Drew sent it to us. Introducing the 49ers new quarterback 1 for 2023. Why the hell was that on? Why the hell was that the music that was associated with it? Is this Trey Lance? Yeah, he sucks. Trey Lance is not going to be quarterback one.
It's going to be Sam Darnold.
No, it's not Sam Darnold.
That's what happens when you draft an athlete as opposed to a quarterback. You have to draft a quarterback. It's more important that if you can't play the position, I don't care that you can run faster. You could throw the ball 100 miles an hour. You have to be able to read the field. It's more of a cerebral position. I'm not saying you can't be totally not able to throw the ball, but it has a cerebral position. You have to know where everybody goes. You got to be able to read. It's more important than physical attributes. Trey Lance is what, a 1AA guy? Those guys take forever to develop.
Got a comment here from Frank. But Stamkos has 500 goals. What does Bailey have?
5.
We get a full 3-hour NFL draft preview show soon. There it is.
That whole draft show is going to be talking about prospects.
Andrew L said TJ's acting like he doesn't make Seattle dogs every night before bed. I do.
He makes the ramen dogs.
Instead of actually having a bagel bun, what I do is I just eat hard ramen.
Ugh.
I just put it on a bed of hard ramen.
You do not actually put it on hard ramen.
I've eaten hard ramen before. It's not that bad.
My God.
If I was hungry enough, I didn't have time to go ahead and throw it in the microwave. I'm just going to bite it and eat the ramen.
At least put some water on it and microwave it, please.
No. If you didn't have time, you're in a run. Just got to eat. Why do you sip the top of your
3 minutes? Nap? That's all it takes. 3 minutes.
I don't know. I just don't bother.
3 minutes.
Did you eat some hard ramen? Nothing wrong with that.
Why don't you put on a song? By then your ramen will be cooked.
Because he doesn't listen to music.
Listen to music, Grump. We've talked about this. Got a comment here from Paulo C. Said, big win. But whoever loses on Saturday might not make the playoffs. Florida plays Washington, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. And the Islanders Islanders can be playing Philly. I think it's a home game for the Islanders, right?
It's a home game.
Okay, gotcha. If you think about it, Trey Lance is Sam Darnold with legs and height. There it is.
Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Trey Lance.
Joey Porter Jr. will be the best defensive player in this draft.
Oh, I don't even think he's the best quarterback. I think the kid out of Illinois.
Corner. Yeah, you mean
cornerback. Yeah, I'm sorry. Devin, what the heck's his last name? Something with a W. Him and Christian Gonzalez, another cornerback. I think they're going to be better than Joey Porter Jr.
I have not done the research yet. I have not been doing enough research yet as to it. Sorry. So I'll have to do more. Let's continue on here, though. Plus, Frank, we hope the Islanders win on Saturday for you. That would be fun. Got a comment here. So, Grumpy, if the NBA is bad because the Knicks are in it, when Cleveland winds up losing, I'll be laughing to the bank. He thinks the Knicks are going to play well, Grump. Okay. Andrew L. said the Jets signed some backup quarterback today that played for the Packers and Lions. I cannot recall his name.
Yeah, I know. He's been Rodgers' backup. That trade is going to happen. Should happen before the draft. Has to happen.
Tim Boyle.
June. They wanted to wait till. I think they wanted to wait till June or something because they don't have to pay him.
No.
The cap implications less.
Yeah, they're not going to cut him. They're not going to cut him. Everything gets accelerated towards the cap if they cut him.
You don't want to do that.
No, I'm saying the Jets want to wait till June so they don't have to pay him as much.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Jets want him now.
Jets, it's going to be less. It's going to be less of a cap hit if the Jets do that. But it's again like they're not. You have to use your draft picks. They're not going to say, let me take draft picks for next year's draft.
Right.
So it's going to be one of those things that get done now. Let me see here. There was one more item I want to talk about because I think this is just crazy. And I know Grumpy, I think, sent this to me. A Babe Ruth game-used bat from over 100 years ago fetched a record price of $1.85 million at a private auction.
You know what's funny? The Mickey Mantle card, sold for I think $12.5 million, and it was like PSA 7. I think
for that type of card, that's fantastic.
Well, the scary thing is there's also a PSA 8 that has not been put on auction of that card.
Holy shit.
So, I mean, if that got $12.5 million, imagine how much the 8's going to get.
To me, the Babe Ruth bat is worth more than that.
I'm with you there. It's a game-used bat. He's touched the bat. He's held it. He's
Babe
used it in a
Ruth's
game.
bat.
That's worth way more than the Mickey Mantle. In my opinion, I'm with you on that. That I thought that was fairly cheap for something like that.
I don't know how. Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, okay, to me and you, that's a lot of money. But I'm saying to like a collector, an investor who money's not an object, that's pretty cheap for something like that.
Like Tyreek Hill, he should buy that.
Tyreek Hill probably did buy that. He was the guy who purchased this at private auction. It's going to be on display during all live.
That's actually going to be the trophy for who wins in the gaming league. They're going to get the Babe Ruth bat. They're just going to pass around year after year.
I'm jealous. That's a pretty cool bat.
That is really cool.
But guys, we're about 2 hours into the show. I know we're wrapping things up right now. Son X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up tonight?
Just want to appreciate everybody for coming out and listening, and hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Absolutely. Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show this evening. By Sunday, we're going to have more updates on the NHL playoff pitch. We're going to have a lot of updates to give, and hopefully, as always, it's going to be a great day to talk some sports. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, sharing your thoughts, your opinions, commenting in. We do love and enjoy that so much. We'll be with you guys next time here Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fridays ahead. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend is popping its little head out over the big mountains. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. And thank you, Grumpy and Son X.
Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like button.
And subscribe.
There it is. Frank's saying that too. Great show. Hit the thumbs up. Let's go Islanders. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you guys Sunday, 8